What is up? There he is, the man,
Hey, Bubba.
myth,
How you
legend,
doing?
Ty Lord of the Flies.
What's up, Bubba? How you doing? Happy to be here.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun, dude. I've been
Yeah.
waiting on this for so long, man. We kind of put it
Oh man,
off,
yeah.
but
Man, I haven't lost the enthusiasm. It keeps getting put off, but I still have the enthusiasm for it.
me as well. And it got
Yeah.
me a chance to watch a few other films too that I would have not
Oh yeah.
seen if we would have done it
Yes.
earlier. So I had some films that I didn't, that I saw multiple times, but I wanted to get a fresh take on it. So even like Killing
Hmm.
Joe, I had to watch that last night, and I've seen that twice in the last 2 years.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
I'm glad I watched a couple of those you recommended because I was just gonna pass up some of the like under the radar ones.
yeah, I mean, I know that we didn't watch every film,
Yeah.
but we watched a good bulk of them. I mean, let me
Yeah.
go over. By the way, we're already live.
Okay. Homeboy, I don't know if Homeboy's gonna make it or not.
Well, if he stops in, man, that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Maybe he's seen
yeah,
some of the
yeah,
films that we missed, and he can
yeah,
kind of
yeah. I
help
know
us
he
out
was
on
jazzed
that.
about talking about. Hopefully, he can stop by for Exorcist because I know he was jazzed about the Exorcist.
You said that the Exorcist, the new movie premiered tonight.
Yeah, yeah. I think he went and saw that earlier.
I got the feeling that's going to be bad.
Yeah, I never saw any of the sequels except for the third one.
You know what?
I know. Yeah.
You haven't seen part two?
No, I kind of want to watch it. Everyone says it's horrible, so that makes me want to watch it even more.
Yeah. I think I might have told you this already. So the one of the guys that I invited who said that he was going to do it flaked
Hmm.
out, but
Okay.
it was interesting. Like I think he was doing I commented on the video when he was reviewing, or no, he was doing like a trailer reaction to the new Exorcist movie.
Okay.
And he was saying at the beginning of the video how much of a fan he is of Exorcist 2, and he doesn't really
Oh,
like
really?
Exorcist 1. It's like the most
Whoa.
craziest take I've ever heard in my life. But then I was like,
Wow.
oh, wait a second. Maybe I should see Exorcist 2. I haven't seen it. And
Yeah.
who knows? Maybe it's so bad that it's good.
Yeah. I know Linda Blair's in it. And James Earl Jones. I
Yeah,
saw it
see,
as
I
a
like
pretty.
James Earl Jones, man.
Yeah.
So
This new one has old Ellen Burstyn, or how do you say her last name? She's in the new one. She's like 90 years old.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mother, the
Yeah.
mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to find out in my notes here, but I'm not seeing it. My list, or did I just text that to you only?
Maybe you just texted it to me.
I might have forgot to save it. That's kind of important to our little project here.
Yeah. We can just.
Hopefully, we didn't text a lot, and I can go back and find it real quick. Because I wanted to make a point about the films, and hopefully, I edited it, or I did it the way I think I did it. Jesus Christ, we did text a lot. I can't even find it. See, I
Are
had
we
the
gonna
list.
Okay, we're not gonna cover his documentaries, right?
We're not going to cover them, but I do want to mention one because one I think is
Yeah. Yeah.
very, very
Yeah.
important to
Yeah.
his
I think I
career.
know I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, so we'll discuss that at the
Okay.
end.
Okay.
All right, here it is. I did find it. Thank God. So let me go ahead and screenshot this. All right, so basically, William Friedkin had 20, major films or feature films.
Yeah.
Besides like some television stuff that he did. And then, of course, he
Yeah.
had like an episode of Tales from the Crypt. He had an episode of Twilight Zone, I guess the
Yeah.
80s Twilight Zone, and a few things here and there. But,
Yeah.
and I don't know if this is the case with like really like other great directors like Spielberg or the Lucases of the world, or some of the best. How many films do they write and also direct?
Well, I don't think he. I don't think he wrote. I don't think he wrote many of them.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. William Friedkin
He might have written the screenplay. I know he doesn't read the books they're based on usually. I know he was saying that French Connection was boring or The Exorcist was boring, and he just met the people involved with it and based the movie off of that. So maybe he did do some of the writing.
Yeah. Now, see, I didn't note it. So he was credited with directing 20 feature films. He wrote 5 of them, and then he was uncredited for 4 others. So there were some that he participated in but didn't get credit. So we're gonna have 20 films to go over here, and then we'll talk about that one documentary, and we're gonna start from chronologically backwards.
Yeah.
I think it'll be interesting to do that. And Radiant, damn, he changed his name again. I guess it's Radiant still. Radiant TV.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
What's up, Radiant? Oh, cheers. I didn't have time to go get beer. I haven't had a beer in about a month. I was going to have one, but I didn't have time to go get one. So I got
cheers. The Astros won their first playoff game.
Oh, congratulations.
I got the Astros mug. I'm sipping on some vodka with a lemon slice in it.
Yeah.
You might be wondering why I have. Oh, you can't see it now. You could see it before. I have this deadbolt on my my game room door. You can see it right there. You see that?
Yeah.
You might be wondering, like, why does he have such a secure game room / movie room? Well,
what's he carrying to keep it?
I have skeletons in my closet, guys.
Yeah, something you don't want to get out of there.
Wait, like this guy. Wait, how do I point?
This guy. If you go in there, if you go in there, someone's gonna spin your head around and throw you out and get thrown out the window.
Huh? I had a fender bender with this guy one time, and I brought him back to the house. Shredded his skin off his body and wore it on my face like Matthew McConaughey. Or like Matthew McConaughey wanted to. Remember when he says that in Killer Joe?
Oh yeah. That kind of gave me that last scene kind of gave me flashbacks to Next Generation Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It did. Okay, let's not talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I mean, I invited 3 people to come to this. One of the guys ignored me, the other guy flaked out, and then the one guy finally answered back, and he's going through like such a hard time in life, like he lost his job, he's suing his job, he hired a lawyer, he's got health, he's handicapped, he's got health issues, he's got so much shit going on. It's like it's hard for me to talk shit about him for
that's the guy. I think you sent me a link. I think you sent me a link to his channel, and he does like movie reviews, right?
Yeah, and he does like a life update, like it seems every 2 hours.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's not the same guy I'm thinking.
All right, so if we go with the last movie, I have no idea if he even finished this movie. It says 2023. And it's called the Kane Mutiny Court Martial.
Oh, I don't know about that.
So, I mean, that's a 2023 film. That's like
that's something he probably
in 12 years at that point.
Yeah. I'm thinking it might. Hopefully, it's something that can someone can finish one day.
Yeah. So we got nothing on that, guys. But the next film, as we just talked about, is 2011's Killer Joe.
Oh, excellent! That's one I happen to have.
Yeah, and I actually picked that up on Blu-ray with the slippity dip, the director's cut.
Yeah.
Look at
I
you
don't
with
know
your
if this was.
sorry ass DVD. I'm surprised you ain't got a VHS, motherfucker.
If they had one available, I'd have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go on this one, man. I'll let you talk about it. I definitely enjoyed this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this one, yeah, I'm glad you told me about this. I was just gonna skip all the new stuff. I didn't realize there were some modern classics in the bunch. Killer Joe here with Matthew McConaughey, like perfectly cast as this role because he's kind of like a suave, charming guy, but he kind of has a dark side, or he really has a dark side. So I think that was perfect casting. An old homegirl in there was perfect for like the hot white trash mom or the stepmom. What's her name? Gina Gershon.
Oh, she's great.
What do you think of? Yeah, wonderful performance. Everyone on the cast was good in this. Great dialogue. I know this is one that Tracy Letts wrote, and I know he's hard up for that Tracy Letts. William Friedkin. He's really likes that writer. He's directed a couple movies that he's written, and really good dialogue. Like I say, I'm not really into modern movies, but this is something special. I'd say like Killer Joe. Trailer park thriller, or what would type of genre is this?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah,
thriller.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I totally agree, man. The acting performances were really good in this
yeah,
one. The guy Emil Hirsch, he's usually good in films.
yeah.
I've
That
watched
guy's
him in a
good.
few
Yeah,
films
yeah. I
that he's
forgot to
in.
mention him.
But you know who I loved in this movie? Thomas
Thomas
Hayden
Hayden.
Church,
Oh
man.
yeah,
He
yeah,
plays the
yeah,
perfect deadbeat fucking trailer
yeah. No,
park
yeah, no
fucking
kidding. Yeah,
scumbag of a dude, man, that doesn't care
yeah.
nothing about his family, man.
No, hell
He's
no.
great in
Yeah,
this film.
yeah,
I really enjoyed his performance in this, man.
yeah. Absolutely.
He even goes as far. I mean, there's going to be spoilers in this. And by the way, let me just
Yeah,
mention this. The reason why we're here today is to honor the great William Friedkin in his career. That's why we're going through all his movies.
yeah,
Rest in peace. He
yeah,
died. I don't know what was it, a couple months ago now. And
yeah,
yeah, man, he's going to be sorely missed. One of the greatest directors of all time.
yeah.
But so this is one of his. This is his latest film. I don't know nothing about the Kane Mutiny thing. He might not even have gotten that finished. But so this is
Yeah.
it, man. This is like the end of the line here, and he came up with
Hmm.
a really good film. I thought, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a classic by any means.
No.
But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Yeah. It's just amazing how so many points, so many bullet points throughout the decades in his career that like are movies I really like, and this is one of them.
Yeah, man. It's like being like a rapper or something.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
from the 80s or something.
Yeah,
You can't. It's so hard to be popular in the 90s and then all of a sudden
yeah,
be popular in the 2000s. Like no one ever does that except for a select few, and it's the same with
sure.
directors or actors or and for him to do something in the 2000s that was pretty cool like this was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
You would think he'd lose his touch, he wouldn't be cool anymore, and he wouldn't know
yeah,
what type of films to make and stuff and
yeah,
how to direct, but he didn't lose
yeah.
too much, I don't think, over the years.
No.
He was still a good director at this
Yeah,
point.
I know he was passionate about making movies up till the end. And in an interview I saw with him, I think someone asked on the one from the audience asked like, what does he want, what is he looking forward to in the future? And he said just living longer so he can do more stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
But yeah, in this film, Emil Hirsch comes up with the idea to come to Thomas Hayden Church, his dad, and come up with this, this idea to kill his mom.
yeah.
I guess I mean, everyone is just fucked up. The whole family.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone is
And
just like the
you never
worst.
even see them. Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
the
never even
worst
see the
people.
mom, but you know she's a scumbag too. The mom,
Oh
you
yeah,
never
for
even see
sure.
her. You never even see her, but you know she's a scumbag too.
If she was married to Thomas Hayden Church's character, she's fucked up.
Yeah, yeah,
She's
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
be fucked up. But he ends up talking them into killing them or killing the
Yeah.
wife they're not going to do it themselves because they're cowards and stuff. So they're
Yeah.
hiring a. He's like a Dallas detective, right?
Yeah. And he does. He's a hitman on the side, like under the table.
Yeah, which is really scary.
Yeah. Yeah, they want to kill her so that their sister can inherit the money. They think she's like the prime benefactor or beneficiary. How you say?
Yeah, and the sister's like, I don't even know how old she is. She's like
Yeah.
half naked and just like
Yeah. I was kind of uncomfortable. I didn't realize she was of age after I saw it, but I was kind of uncomfortable with that.
Oh yeah, especially some of the
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey scenes with her.
Yeah.
Say, how old are you? And she's like, 12. Yeah, like I think she was. They were like reliving something from the past. That was a disturbing scene.
Yeah.
But anyway, they come up with this idea, and the whole thing just blows up in their faces because she's not the beneficiary. It's actually her, the guy she's with now.
Yeah. They got played by that guy. He's the one that planted that seed in Emil's head.
Yeah. And then and Thomas Hayden's Church's character, his girlfriend now is like a part of that scheme because she's banging this guy on the side. This plan, so she knows about it. And it's a pretty good double cross type of situation going on. And,
so we just ruined the whole movie for everyone that hasn't seen it.
No, I said there's gonna be spoilers in this.
I know.
Spoilers, you know.
Yeah.
But so there's this infamous scene where, and there's not a picture of her, but her name is it's Gina Gershon, right?
Yeah, she's fantastic. Yeah.
You know what's funny? Like Gina Gershon, even though everybody's fucked up, she's really like the only one that shows like any kind of like decency in the film. Like,
she kind of. Yeah, she's good to the
young girl.
Yeah, she's good to the daughter. Yeah.
Hottie. She's like talking about life with her and trying to like your first boyfriend.
Yeah.
She's like kind of being a good like stepmom to her.
Yeah.
And so she's like the only one that has any kind of like heart at all. But then she's like a whore and
she's bad.
Double cross and shit. So
that thing with her
like trash, except for Emil Hirsch is being the big brother and wanting to take Dottie away from there after he's
he was kind of a scumbag too, and I think there was some kind of weirdness going on between them. I think he was a weirdo too.
Emil
what
Hirsch
is that? What is that called when brother on sister? What is that word?
Oh, I didn't know that was going on. I didn't see that.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that. But the thing with Gina Gershon, when I forgot if it was on the commentary, William, she was saying, or was an interview with her. She was saying she thought William Friedkin didn't like her because he started treating her like trash at the end of the movie. Like he was really nice to her at the beginning, and at the end of the movie, he was treating her like a whore. Like he was talking to her like how Matthew McConaughey's character was talking to her, and she was saying, I thought William Friedkin didn't like me, and then like whoever his age. Yeah, it was just in character because he was being nice to her at the beginning when you think she's a nice lady, or not nice, but you think but at the end he's being mean to her and he's bringing out that side of her with her performance.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I could see him doing that. Hey, what's up, Mr. V? Games and Toys. What's up, brother?
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, it's funny.
What's up, Mr. V?
He was at the last when it was supposed to start last time and it never started.
Oh, yeah.
I went to it to cancel it and he was there. I was like, we were laughing about it. But yeah, oh man, I started laughing my ass off when Emil Hirsch's character is knocking on the trailer when it's raining outside, and then Gina Gershon comes up there and she's with
her bush.
He's like, your muff, you got your muff hanging out right in my face. What's going on? It's like so funny. She didn't give a shit, man. Did not give a shit at all. And really good portrayal of just trailer park trash, man. And Matthew McConaughey was good. So there's an infamous scene in this movie where they end up not paying Matthew McConaughey because they can't get the money because Dottie's not the inheritor, and so now they can't pay him, and they owe him like what $50,000 or something like that. And he's a psychopath, this guy. So basically, he goes into the trailer and they're all there, or some of them are there. Some of them arrive a little bit later, and they end up having a chicken meal together. But before that, he ends up basically raping Gina
Gershon's mouth,
in her mouth, like it's his cock putting in front of his cock. And it's very fucking disturbing. It really is. It's disgusting. There's like blood all over the chicken because he
because he just like slapped her around,
and she's like sucking on the chicken leg, and it's blood all. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, and that's the part that takes me back to Matthew McConaughey in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, because he even says, he's like, "I'll wear your face. I'll cut your
your
face and wear it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, that is definitely Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And and it's just so funny. Like Hayden Church is like, you made your own bed, you gotta lay in it.
Yeah, he's letting him slap her around. He's not doing anything. Well, of course, because he found the pic.
With Matthew McConaughey. He's like just so scared of him. He's like, that's fine, man. I ain't gonna do.
And he saw he saw the pictures of her getting screwed by the guy with a small dick, and he kept showing, "Is this your dick?"
So funny. Matthew McConaughey's character shows Hayden Church, his character, pictures of his wife getting fucked by some other guy. Wasn't that the guy who got the inheritance?
Yeah,
it was him. Yeah. But I love when Hayden Church at the beginning of the movie, when he's trying to talk, when his son's trying to talk him into doing the killing and stuff, or the idea, where he's like, "I've never had $1,000 in my whole life." So like Trailer Park, I've never had $1,000 in my whole life. You just know he's a total loser, man.
The weird thing we forgot to talk about was they didn't have money up front for him, so they had the girl for a retainer, so they just let him come in and do whatever they want to their own daughter or their sister.
And Hayden Church didn't give a fuck about it. Whatever, no big deal.
He's like, you better get a nice dress for, what was his name? Killer Joe. Go get a nice dress for Joe at the thrift store.
And the mom to the thrift store and stuff, trying to be a good stepmom.
Do you guys in tech? Yeah.
But it's funny.
Do you guys?
Like, she seems like she's slow, but she's not slow at all. Like she knows what's going on the whole freaking movie. She's like listening to them out in the car talking. She knows what the plan is and stuff. And she's like, good idea, killing mom.
Is that what they call KFC and you guys in Texas call it K-Fried C?
No, we call it KFC.
Oh, because they kept calling it. We got some K-Fried C.
Never heard that before. Yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, man. Pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
definitely
good movie. Yeah, I'm glad you.
Like, he effing like jumps on the floor and grabs his son's leg so he can kill his son. Spineless movie, man. Why he doesn't care if his family gets killed.
He
just wants to stay around to the end and be there with Joe, and I don't know what he's just himself. All right, you got anything else to say about this?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, we pretty much covered that one.
Yeah.
So glad this is fresh on my mind, man, because I just saw it last night. Really cool. This is the third time I've seen it.
Excellent.
I get that web root renewal thing all the time coming up on my computer. Let me put that over there. Hopefully you guys can see my setup. I got the Exorcist, the French Connection, Sorcerer right there.
Yeah.
The skeleton with the hockey mask back there.
I'm happy. If he made 20, I'm glad I have 7 of his movies. That's a nice chunk of it, huh?
Yeah, you froze for a second there, but I think you're okay now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm glad I have. If
yeah,
he
I
made,
mean, you know what? I'm glad you mentioned that because I was gonna talk about that before we got started. Let me see here. Out of the 20 films I watched very recently, You know, it's funny. The one that I didn't watch recently, The Exorcist.
Oh wow.
I've seen it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Let me see. 1, 2. Cruising I watched last year, so I don't know if I can count that one.
Oh yeah, I just watched that one recently.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thought it was more than that, but I'm counting 8 that I watched very recently. All right, so the next film up, 2006. He kind of did that a lot. He would every 3 to 4 years he would make a film.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of was his thing a little bit. You'll see that over the years here. So Killer Joe came out in 2011. Bug came out in 2006. I actually have a copy of Bug.
Yeah.
Well, you got the same copy.
Yeah.
I'll let you start on this one. This is kind of a hard one to talk about.
Yeah. When I first turned this on, I didn't think I was going to like it. It kind of starts off slow and confusing and just kind of average and boring. Like nothing really is going on intriguing to me at all. But by the end of the movie, it really got bizarre and it made you think a lot, like psychologically. And this is also Tracy Letts that also wrote Killer Joe wrote this.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I know William Friedkin was really up on this guy. Like he loved his writing. Like he says, "Oh, I can't write all this. I don't know about new stuff, how people think nowadays, but this guy like is really in tune. Like and he has his dialogue writing and his storytelling is really good." And I think I really enjoyed this, maybe almost as much as Killer Joe. It's just as bizarre, I would say. It's a conspiracy. It's pretty.
What happens here?
Okay,
not the whole thing, but like.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
because it's kind of hard to describe the whole thing.
Yeah, I can't really. It's hard to describe it. So it starts off. She lives. Ashley Judd lives in a motel room. And it's kind of like another trailer park trash or white trash thriller. She lives there. Her husband's in prison and he's getting out. She keeps getting these calls with nothing. No one talks on the other end. She thinks it's her husband getting out of prison. She doesn't want him back. He's abusive. They had a son.
He's great in the film, right?
Oh yeah. It was Harry Connick Jr. Yeah, he's good.
He's probably the best in the film. I love him.
Oh yeah. He is. Yeah, he's super trash in this. He's really good. So apparently they had a kid, and it kind of makes you feel for both of them because they had a kid, and when she was shopping at the grocery store 10 years ago, he just disappeared out of his the grocery cart. Like she had him sitting there. She went to grab something, and she came back, and the baby was gone. There was a big investigation, but they never found any clue of what happened to her child. So their marriage went downhill. He went to prison. She's alone. She's lonely. She lives in this hotel room. She's hot as hell for like a middle-aged woman, but she doesn't have a boyfriend or anything. And this creepy husband, who's abusive, alcoholics, wanting to come back and live with her, and she doesn't want any part of it. So her lesbian best friend, who's that really hot chick, what's her name? That actress, is it Lynn Collins? She hooks her up with this weird guy that's like, I don't know how she knows him. How does her buddy know that guy that's played by
at the bar that she works for? He just came to the bar.
Yeah. Michael Shannon's this weird guy, kind of socially awkward fella, kind of a non-threatening guy, kind of a nerdy guy. She hooks him up with her because she's lonely and it's kind of an awkward, like they're on a date and he starts living with her or something, but then they end up liking each other a lot. Like they have a genuine like love for each other. So at the meantime, the husband's coming back from the military and he's forcing himself in there. He's come back and beaten the crap out of her, and her new boyfriend doesn't really do anything about it. And she doesn't want him in there, but he just keeps coming back anyway. So you think Michael Shannon's this nice nerdy guy, but he has a dark past. I guess he was from the military, and he escaped the military. And I don't know how much of this is in his mind and how much is true. I
He was in
assume
the
it's all
Gulf War,
true.
right? I think the Gulf War.
Yeah, yeah. So apparently, what he says is that he doesn't want to share this with her at first because he doesn't want to endanger her. But he ends up telling her because he wants to be truthful and honest with her because they're in love with each other. He tells him the military was doing experiments on him, and just like the government and the military always has these conspiracies there's always conspiracies about what they've done throughout the past 100 years, and this is the new big thing. This is like a big uh, conspiracy theory. The government's hiding from people. They're doing experiments on these soldiers to infect everyone with a virus or something, but it's a bug. Is that what it is? Or
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
he says. And they're little tiny aphids, and you never see them in the whole movie, but he's always picking at him like, oh, aphids are plant bugs, but they shouldn't be biting people, but they're biting me. And he's getting all these marks all over him, and then she starts believing it too, and she's scratching all over. And he's telling him that the government did this as a virus. Um, it's like a weaponized deal.
It's
And
so
he says,
hard to explain.
yeah, and then the government, he thinks they're after him. They end up covering up their whole room with tinfoil, or was that what it was? So they
Yeah,
couldn't.
aluminum foil. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and they're all naked, and actually Judd's hot.
Oh yeah, she's hot, man.
Yeah. Um, Yeah, and then they're getting so paranoid. They don't even trust her friend anymore. They think everyone's out to get them. He's pulling his teeth out because he thinks there's a microchip in there. You never know if this is real or in his mind. Eventually,
Yeah.
like the scientist that worked on him comes and visits him, but you don't even know if he's legit or not. And then it just gets really bizarre from there. I don't know if I want to ruin the whole movie. Should I?
Yeah, I mean, it gets super bizarre at the very
Yeah,
end. Like,
yeah,
they're like,
yeah,
it's just him and her like going back and forth in front of each other, and then all
yeah.
of a sudden, like, they're saying she's the queen. They're figuring out that she's the
Oh
queen.
yeah. That was it. They implanted him with the bugs, and he
Yeah,
impregnated her, and now she's like the queen of all the bugs.
and I kept thinking, like, when they did that part, I was like, well, the queen you're supposed to protect, and
Yeah.
it's the whole movie's a play on words. It's like a bug. You
Yeah.
think it's like I mean, it really is a bug, an aphib,
Yeah.
but it's a bug. Like
Yeah.
they're being bugged by
Yeah.
like the CIA or the
Yeah.
FBI or whoever these like X-File type
Yeah.
of people are. They're actually being bugged, listened to,
Yeah.
monitored,
Yeah.
and there's real bugs, that are like
Yeah.
so fucking bizarre. But I always
Yeah.
thought,
And
like,
then another thing is it
protect the
tied back into
queen.
the kid.
You always protect the queen. That's
Yeah.
the job of
Yeah.
the art. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like Michael
Yeah.
Caine character should protect her, but that didn't happen at
Yeah.
all. It's like,
Oh no, it all went up in smoke.
exactly.
But they the other thing that was tied into their kid that went missing when he was 10, like I think that like maybe they think like she had this in her already, and they took the kid to experiment on him 10 years ago, the government, because
Yeah.
remember the scientist mentioned him. So I thought this was all fake in their minds until like the scientist mentioned the kid, like, we can get you your kid back if you work with us or whatever, remember?
Yeah, I remember that part. Yeah, Mr. V
Yeah.
made a good point, kind of like Jacob's ladder with experiments
Yeah.
on the guys in the military.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie tried to be too smart. Like, it got way too complex, especially at the end, where it was like whoever was directing this is one of those guys who's always feel like they're the smartest guy in the room. And they're throwing like so much shit at you at one time that it's hard to process what's going on. Like, I had to watch this movie like 3 times already.
Yeah.
And
I wonder. Yeah.
the first time I watched this movie, I forgot. I think I was high out of my mind. I thought it was like a bug movie. Like, there were bugs everywhere because there is the paranoia of that. So I thought it was like a bug killer type of film where bugs are trying to kill them, But it's not that at all. But and they go from, like, of course, the craziness of getting bumps all over their bodies and itching and just the madness of this AFib what it causes, but it seems like it goes too quick to the whole house is in aluminum foil. Like literally, that one scene, there's no aluminum foil, and then the whole house is wrapped in aluminum foil. It's crazy. But
unless there was like a time, I don't know if like time was because I don't know if like time had passed or whatever during the cuts or
bizarre the transition.
And another thing, I know William Friekin's not into rehearsals, but this movie's heavy on the dialogue. If they just improv'd all this, because I know he likes to just put the idea in their head and they memorize their characters and know what they're about, and then he doesn't like to do a lot of takes. Like he just has them like go natural, and so that's pretty amazing if they did that dialogue. Just I don't know if this was one of the movies he rehearsed or not, but if they just did all that without rehearsing, it would seem pretty natural.
And then like in the film, like at first you're like Michael Shannon's like the hero, like our hero, you know, even though he doesn't fight back against Harry Connick Jr.'s character, he's still like he's much better for her than Harry Connick Jr. But by like the end of the movie, where I think Harry Connick Jr. is the one that brought the X-File guy over there, right? Or something like that. He went to visit like towards the end. You're actually rooting for Harry Connick Jr. You're like, Michael Shannon's more fucked up than Harry Connick Jr.'s character. Beat his ass up and get him out of the damn house. Ashley Judd is beautiful. And this guy is like a fucking psychopath at this point. You know, I mean, I was like, what the fuck? I thought no one could be worse than Harry Connick Jr. at the beginning of the film. By the end, I'm like, get this guy out of here. Michael Shannon's a nut.
He started off like, oh, I could get behind this guy, but by the end, it's just insanity.
It reminds me of like in the hotel industry, you have these like bed bugs and stuff. People get paranoia about those bed bugs. People bring their own sheets to take the sheets off the beds, put their own sheets, and put plastic on beds, and like you know, that's kind of like him in that film, you know. So I guess the AFibs are like microscopic or something. You can't see them.
I guess he said he could see them with his naked eye, but and he would look at them under microscopes, but they would never show what he saw. So it was like a question whether he's insane or there's really AFibs.
Now the AFib getting inside of them, what did that do? I still don't even understand. Like the AFib's been bioengineered.
I guess
to do what? You know.
They explained it. There was a lot of dialogue. It was a conspiracy theory to get. I don't forget if it was to control people or as a weapon to. I don't know.
they threw too much at you, man. It's like God damn. Man. Fuck, man. You need an instruction manual to watch this movie. It's not as confusing as that time travel movie, though. I can't remember the name of it right now.
Time travel movie.
Oh, yeah, I mentioned it in one of my last videos. Oh, God. Yeah, I mean, they were very ambitious with this movie, for sure.
Yeah.
But it was pretty damn good, man. Pretty damn good.
Yeah, it was good.
Somebody says on here, very possibly William Friedkin's best movie.
Yeah, I see that.
No. Yeah, I've always liked Ashley Judd in film.
Yeah.
What was she in that movie? Double Jeopardy. Remember that?
Yeah, Double Jeopardy with.
Who was the bad guy in that? Oh, it was the guy from. I'll never remember his name. He's been in a bunch of films.
Oh yeah.
He's like the suave husband at first, and then.
Yeah.
That might have been an insurance deal too, where he tried to kill her for the insurance.
Yeah. Bug.
All right. Rolling through these babies now. See what we got up next. Probably something we hadn't seen.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Number 17 film came out in 2003. Again, 3 years later, or 3 years earlier. This is the movie The Hunted. I know I've seen this back in the rental days. I'm certain I've seen this film, but I just didn't have enough time or I shouldn't say I didn't have enough time. I definitely had enough
Yeah,
time.
it sounds good. I've never seen. I was about to watch it right now. I didn't realize we were going to start so early. It sounds pretty good, like it's a wilderness manhunt movie set up in Oregon, huh?
Yeah, it's supposed to be kind of a little bit similar to the first Rambo film, First Blood.
Okay.
Like that guy's kind of like John Rambo a little bit.
Okay, Benicio.
Yeah.
Only thing I know about this is William Friedkin was complaining about how Tommy Lee Jones, he'll tell him to do something and he'll do it, but Benicio del Toro wants to change everything up and write his character and have a whole backstory and do all this shit. And I remember it was irritating William Friedkin.
Yeah, I don't know where you saw that at. I saw that same thing too.
Yeah,
same exact thing. Tommy Lee Jones, and he says, such a professional. He's like, walk here, walk there, say this, say that. Everything like a robot.
Yeah. And then, he said some of the stuff Benicio would come up with was pretty good, and he used it, but most of the time it was just it was just irritating him.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Just in case you guys don't know, William Friedkin was a very cocky individual for sure.
Yeah, he's a big trash talker.
Yeah. He's a tough guy to interview too. If you're interviewing
him,
you better make some fucking sense because he'll tear you apart.
Yeah, he'll shoot. Yeah.
All right, so we don't have too much on that because we haven't seen that in quite some. You said you'd never seen that?
Nope.
Oh wow, man!
I was about to watch it today.
You're turning into the zombie of the stream. Not even watching.
Yeah, I know.
You're supposed to watch. Start calling you Tyberry. All right, next up here, another movie that I haven't seen in so many years. For me, it's tough because like I watch a lot of B films like constantly, and I only have a certain amount of time because I work. Yeah. It's like I got very selfish with my films. Like I didn't want to watch like The Hunted. I didn't want to watch Rules of Engagement again. Like I rather watch like I'm doing this 31 Days of Horror thing where I have to do a horror film every night. It's like I don't know. I got kind of selfish. I probably should have watched it. I mean, Rules of Engagement is like a blockbuster type of film that it's probably just as good as Top Gun or any other film. I mean, it's a solid film from what I remember. I think it had Samuel L. Jackson in it, and who else was in it?
Was it? It had a good cast. Yeah, I didn't see. Well, if I saw it maybe back when it came out, but all those movies back in the '90s all blend together for me. Like all those like military thriller or those political.
Generic of a film. It's like you're right.
Yeah, it's probably not generic. I'm sure it's really good, but.
That's it. You got nothing else?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. That was one I didn't get to.
Bastard, Tyler, you.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's another one that we haven't seen. This stream is going down in a down like fucking no one could ever imagine. We got Jade, which is another film I guarantee you I've seen because I'm a movie watcher. I watched like tons of films back in the day. It's probably something I rented, but it came out in 1995. That was 5 years prior to Rules of Engagement. Oh God, thank God I watched the next films. I'm gonna save us, Time Lord.
Okay.
I'll watch the next 4 at least. But Jade, I don't know too much about it. If you're
I know David
later, hopefully he's seen some of these films. To be honest with you, I did read reviews on some of this stuff, and Jade did not sound too fascinating to me, to be honest.
Yeah. I have it on VHS. I just never got around to watching it. I know David Caruso's in it, and who else?
Who's in it?
Isn't David Caruso in it, the redhead guy? Or am I thinking of something else?
I think you're right.
And I know I like the cover for it. It's all jade, like it's all green, and there's like a sexy lady, and you see the back of her, and it says Jade. I know I like the cover of the movie.
Who's the hot chick in it?
I can't remember.
Who's Jade? All right, I'm gonna let you look it up.
Okay.
Drop some facts on the movie.
That I need to get to that one.
Tell us who directed. They're not directed. Tell us who starred in the film.
All I remember was David Caruso and Jade.
I think the female was pretty well known.
Yeah. It had a good cast. Probably.
You need me to do it, or you can't do it?
No, my internet's just slow.
I'll do it.
I like the way you put in the exact search on internet, the exact name, and it won't pop up on Internet Movie Database. Oh, here it is. 95. David Caruso, Linda Florentino.
Well, you know, it's funny. If you put The Guardian in, that fucking
yeah,
the other movie comes up. It doesn't even come up. The
William Friedkin
film. The one with Kevin Costner comes up.
Yeah.
All right, who do you say was it? The lady?
Linda Florentino.
David Caruso. Yeah, that's right. I don't know what she's been in. She looks very familiar.
Yeah.
And then Chaz Palminteri.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of mafia films. Films.
Yeah, then I see Michael Biehn
as well.
Yeah, I see Michael Bihn's in it.
He's a hottie.
Yeah. So what is this? A bright assistant DA investigates a gruesome hatchet murder and hides a clue he found from the crime scene. Under professional threats and attempts on his life, he goes on.
I'm gonna go get a beer and let the dogs out.
Okay. Okay. Oh, he goes on heartbroken because evidence points to the woman he still loves. Okay.
What are y'all whining about out
here? Yeah, so probably some like sexy 90s thriller. And if I've seen it, I don't remember anything about it. Exotic thriller. I guess that's the word for something like that. Linda Florentino is the girl. What else? Yeah, I have that on VHS, but I'm afraid my VHS player will eat it up, so I didn't watch it.
What would you say?
Oh, I said I have Jade on VHS, but I'm afraid my VHS player will eat it up, so I didn't watch it.
VHS? People still collect VHS? What the? You must be a loser.
If I can get fit for 50 cents, I'm gonna start my man cave and put them all up there.
How did you get into collecting VHS, man? I still don't understand it.
I don't know. I've always had them. I think freaking Mario corrupted me, and also what's his name? Our buddy
another
Dan.
Loser.
Dan. Huh?
Jesus, you're hanging with a bunch of losers, man. That's what
Actually, I gave a bunch of mine to Dan because I thought I was going to get rid of them, but then I ended up collecting more of them.
I'm in love with Laserdisc, man. Give me every Laserdisc.
They just take up so much damn space.
I got that huge entertainment cabinet like in my living room.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect for them, you know.
It probably weighs a ton. Probably weighs a ton.
It does, but it's a really good, strongly made entertainment center shelving unit.
Okay.
All right, let me get back to my list here. I moved on to beer. All right, so thank God I watched this film this morning. And that is Blue Chips from 1994 Now, this is one of the first times he's made a film year back-to-back years, 95
Yeah.
Jade and 94 Blue Chips. This stars Nick Nolte as the big
There's the
college
coat.
coach. I think
Yeah.
it's kind of based upon what's the guy from Indiana, the famous coach. They used to get pissed off and throw chairs across the basketball court and kick
Oh
basketball
yeah.
into the damn audience. Bobby Knight. So
Okay.
Bobby Knight was this hothead coach for Indiana back in the day, and like I said, he
Yeah.
throw chairs and he's always fighting with referees and stuff. He's just a total asshole, but he can coach his ass off. And
Yeah.
and he's actually in the film. Bobby
Oh,
Knight is
okay.
in the film. He's one of the opposing coaches.
Okay. I'm sure he got it.
I really enjoyed this
Yeah.
film. Like I read like reviews on it that were not that favorable, but for me, this like back in the day, I used to watch tons of college basketball. So around
Okay.
that time, that was kind of the end of the time where I kind of stopped. But like Penny Hardaway, who ended up playing for Orlando with Shaquille O'Neal later on, and I think his career ended it with injuries and stuff. But he was one of the best basketball players for Memphis, and he was a really great NBA player until he got hurt. Shaquille O'Neal's in the film as well.
Yeah.
He couldn't have been probably 19 years old.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like NBA stars in the film. There's a lot of college basketball stars in the film. It's one of the
cool.
best like college basketball movies. And we'll talk about this later on. But William Friedkin, his gift as a director is making you feel like shit is real. Like it's not just some kind of film. Some kind of movie. You feel like you're actually watching a real life situation.
Yeah.
Like I've always felt like with directors, it goes both ways. Like the greatest documentaries of all time seem like great films, and then the greatest films of all time, some of the greatest films of all time, almost feel like they're documentaries because they're so real. And that's William Friedkin's gift, without a doubt. And we'll talk more about that later on. Some of the heavy hitter films, but this is just it's shot just like so perfectly. You feel like you're on court with these guys, and William Friedkin tackles a lot of stuff for whatever reason, like stuff that happened in the past. We'll talk about a movie in a little while here, Rampage, where there was a time where people were killing people and getting off because of what is it? What is the word I'm looking for? Where they're mentally unstable, so they end up getting
plead insanity.
Yeah, what is it called?
Pleading insanity. Is that what it is?
He goes over like real life topics like that, and in this film he goes over the topic boosters paying for players. So basically, what happens is his team, which I think is I think it's in LA somewhere. They're called the Dolphins. I'm not sure exactly where it's at. They might have been a made-up team, but they have a season where they go 14-15, and he's kicking their ass. He's throwing the water bottle in the locker room around and ripping their clothes out their lockers, their uniforms out their lockers, and saying, "You guys don't deserve uniforms." Nick Nolte is one of the best, like.
Getting pissed off guys.
The best, like, just like get in your face and just talk shit to you, and just like. One of the angriest like guys. He plays the angry guy. Look really good. He's the perfect coach in this film. High coach. And but anyway, his team goes like 14-15, and his history is he's won 2 championships. So that's absolutely a no to go 14-15. But his team busted their ass like every night. So later on, he has like a respect for that, and but he knows why his team's losing is because everyone's cheating and giving players, which happened in real life, giving players Lamborghinis and, $30,000 in cash in a duffel bag, buying the mother houses. In this film, they buy a farmer a brand new John Deere tractor. And so they're basically paying off the parents and the coaches of these high schools, and it's the alumni, the rich alumni that are at these schools. Now, Nick Nolte's a good guy. He doesn't want to have nothing to do with that shit. But somehow he just gets tired of like the hard times and losing and everything. And somehow he gets convinced into doing it. And that's how he gets Shaquille O'Neal on his team, Penny Hardaway, some white guy from French Lick, Indiana, which Larry Bird, he sees Larry Bird in the film and says, hey, can you call the guy, the parents of this player? And he's like, no problem. I'll take care of you, you know? And so that's cool seeing Larry Bird in the film. And so he gets all these great players. And at first, he's not going to pay him anything. And then the one player from French Lick, Indiana says, hey, guys, I really enjoy my time here practicing with you guys. And I think I'm gonna go to school here, but you're going to have to give me $30,000 in a duffel bag. I already got the offer already from another school. If you guys don't give it to me, I'm out of here. And Nick Nolte kicks him out of the gym. He's fucking pissed off and shit. And then all of a sudden he gets convinced to become corrupt. And they call the guy. All of a sudden, like, you know, as the movie progresses, this guy knocks at the door and hands him a duffel bag full of $30,000. So they end up getting him back to school. And then Shaquille O'Neal's from like New Orleans, like he's super like raw. I don't even think he's played high school. His SATs are like 500, so he failed to pass his SATs and stuff. And but they end up giving everybody something. And then what it ends up happening is they end up winning it all, but he's like he's unsatisfied with it, and people find out about it. His ex-wife finds out about it, loses respect for him, and there's this whole scene at the end where he basically quits and yeah, Nick Nolte's super good in the film.
Yeah.
And man, there was something else I wanted to say about the movie. Now I can't remember. Oh, okay. So the booster, the main guy who finally convinces him, is just a slime ball of a character. And he goes to like a bar and he's got big tit fucking blonde chicks with him and stuff, supermodel looking chicks, both, you know, arms and stuff. He's telling Nick Nolte, this is the life, man. And so he's the character from Sling Blade.
Is it JT Walsh?
In Sling Blade, he's the guy who's in the mental hospital, who's telling Billy Bob Thornton's character how he raped little girls and killed them and stuff. And Billy Bob Thornton is that? Like boiling, and he's like sitting right next to him by the window. And he's such a good actor. I don't know what else he's been in, but he's so good at a nasty character. And he plays the perfect alumni booster, like corrupt guy in this film.
Okay.
Really good. And yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good film.
Yeah. Another thing with Nick Nolte, that's another guy that William Friedkin was complaining about. Like Nick Nolte's like super for professional. Like he went and wrote like a novel about his character's backstory and says, "Here, read this, William Friedkin. This is all about my character." And William Friedkin was like, "Fuck that! I just threw that shit in the trash." And then he comes back, "Hey, did you read my novel?" And I said, "Oh yeah, whatever. Fuck that." Or so because he just. But because Nick Nolte, kind of like Benicio, has his own idea, like super wants to know all the backstory of the character, which is kind of good because even William Friedkin said that like it's good to just get inside the mind of your character and think what they would want to do, and then just don't act, just be that person when they turn the film on.
Yeah.
But I remember that was funny. Yeah. I think that was funny how he wrote like the whole. I just thought it was funny how he wrote him like a long book about the backstory of his character, and then William Friedkin just threw it away.
That is funny. Yeah. If you want to watch another very well acted film that he's in, Nick Nolte. And again, he just plays the miserable guy so well. And it's called Affliction. It came out in 1997. And his dad in the film is played by James Coburn.
Oh, okay, a good actor, yeah.
And James Coburn is like 10 times more miserable than Nick Nolte could ever be in a film. And he's just making Nick Nolte miserable to the point where Nick Nolte's about to kill him. And we talked about the 2 scene earlier. Nick Nolte, again, plays a perfect miserable guy. He's got an abscess tooth in the film, and he pulls it out with pliers like Michael Shannon in The Bug. And, he already plays a great miserable guy, but his tooth is killing him the whole film.
Yeah.
James Colburn's coming down on him as the overbearing dad. Yeah, man, check out Affliction, man. It's a really good movie.
Okay.
No, I gotta let Taylor in. I'll be right back.
Okay. What's coming up next? Okay. Next one I've seen.
Oh, but so also what I want to say about Blue Chips is when I was like super young, I used to watch ESPN all the time, and they used to show Shaquille O'Neal when he was a freshman with LSU.
Yeah.
And they would go play, like ESPN would show them play like shitty schools where there was like 5 white guys against Shaquille O'Neal and his squad of players. And there would be like 5 white guys like hanging on Shaquille O'Neal's back, and he's going up and dunking the basketball, crushing the rim, breaking the backboard. And it looked so funny, him playing against all these like weak players, because he was like, the guy was like 7'1", 370 pounds. He was a monster on the court, and he was that way when he was a freshman. So I became a huge LSU fan and followed him all the way up to his last year there. They had another really good player named Chris Jackson. And, so I was a huge fan. And then when I moved to Florida, I became a Miami Heat guy. And then they traded Shaquille O'Neal to the Miami Heat. And, of course, him and Dwayne Wade won a championship. So that was badass. Not bad. The NBA guys, the college guys, did a decent job acting in that film.
Yeah, I'm sure he had a lot of good input from the coach and all the players to make that movie seem even more authentic.
Yeah, and then all of like Rick, the guy from Kentucky, they had like all the best college coaches in that film. Like they were all there. The guy who used to chew on the towel with the water for UNLV, the coach used to chew on the towel cold. Remember him, Tark? You're not a
I can't remember his name,
But his name was Tarkanian, and he was like the UNLV coach back when Grandmama Larry Johnson used to play for him. But anyway, the next film here is gonna be The Guardian.
Yeah.
It came out 4 years prior to Blue Chips in 1990.
Wow.
All right, recent. I can definitely have some stuff to say about this one too.
Okay, recent watch. I never realized this was a real William Friedkin film. Otherwise, I probably would have watched it sooner.
This
Seems almost like
a scary movie, right? This is it.
Yeah, I think so. I guess if you consider Bug a horror movie,
no, I wouldn't. No.
Yeah. Okay. So this is it seems almost like one of those typical 90s straight-to-video horror movies, something like Albert Pune would direct or something. Yeah. But it has a little bit more polish than that. It's a little bit higher quality, and the acting's great. So it's about this nanny that, or what is it called, a child service agency. She's actually a witch that's part of this tree. This like supernatural tree. She's some kind of witch, and she's part of that tree. She's some kind of supernatural creature, and she can control the dogs and the owls and the frogs and everything. And what she does is she goes to be a nanny of newborn babies, and she takes the baby and kidnaps them when the parents aren't looking, and she goes and sacrifices the baby to the tree. And that's kind of like the backstory for the witch. So the story starts off with a young couple that moves to LA from like Chicago, and it's that actor. I've never seen him in anything else, but he's really good. His name's Dwyer Brown, and he is kind of like dollar store Bill Pullman, I thought. And his wife is Carrie Lowell, who I love her. I love her in all the Albert Pyun movies, and I love her in License to Kill. I just love, she's gorgeous, but she's also really good at acting. Like, she brings out a lot of emotion. They moved to LA. He's like some kind of like illustrator for a magazine or something, and she's pregnant with a baby. They move in there, and they're trying to find these nannies, or I guess what are they called? I guess like a child care nanny. They interview a few people. They interview a few people, and then they interview this English woman. She's a really nice woman. That actress, I never see her in much. She was a really good actress. Is her name Jenny Seagrove? She's really beautiful English woman, like really proper. She's the witch, but they don't know this, of course. And she interviews. She does really well, but they want to hire this other girl. But the poor girl on the way home is, I guess the witch sets up a trap, and her bicycle crashes. He goes off the cliff and dies. So they have to hire the witch, and the witch is super good with the baby. Like, she's really good with the baby. So they love this new nanny, and they're not suspicious of her.
I think they would have hired her, but I think she was so hot that they went with the other girl because of that.
Yeah. And then did I? Okay, I was losing.
You're breaking up a little bit. You're starting to freeze up.
Okay, so it's good. Of course, it's going to be going to turn out bad for.
You're freezing up bad.
You
might want to restart. Yeah, you're bad, man. You're max headroom.
Okay.
There you go. I see you now without the pixels. Yeah.
How about now?
No, you're still frozen.
The camera off. How about now?
You're not moving at all.
Can you hear me?
No, you're breaking up bad.
Okay, I'll come back in.
Tell your kids to get off the damn Xbox. Tell your wife to stop streaming. Tell her it's all about William Friedkin tonight. You're ruining a masterpiece of a stream, Ty Lord. The PWM does not ever fail. You will bring me to my knees. No homo. All right, now you can see it a little bit better. See my, why do I keep pointing in the wrong direction? There we go. It's so weird because the camera is like it's mirror image. I can't even point to the damn, I'm trying to point to the skeleton. I can't even do it. There we go. See how awkward that is? I still can't do it. What the, there. Wait. There. See the skeleton? See Jason? All right, we're gonna give him a second to get back in here. Let me see what's up next. Hopefully, I've seen the movie because Tyler's not seen any of the movies. Basically, no, I'm kidding. Of course, I'm just kidding. All right, so the next movie I've also seen, and the movie after that I've seen as well. Then I miss a movie. Then I've seen a movie. Then I miss a movie. Then I've seen a movie. Seen a movie. Seen a movie. And we're pretty much at the end of his filmography. So I did not watch any of his 1960s films. I did not watch. It was probably a little bit unfair. I'm not a huge 60s guy. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I kind of stray away from 60s films. I'm a huge fan of the 1970s, 1980s, but for whatever reason, the 60s I kind of stay away from. Probably unsmartly. I'm sure there's some really good stuff in the 60s. One of his first films that he made, I think, has Robert Shaw from Jaws in it. A very young Robert Shaw, by the way. And I'm a big fan of his, so who knows? Maybe one day I'll check it out. All right. Mr. V, did you go away? Radiant TV, did you go away? Is anyone here? Is anyone out there? Answer any comments that come in while we're waiting on Ty Lord, Mr. Internet King. I guess I'll go over the fact. Let me look up his while we're waiting. I'm gonna look at his filmography, not filmography. Yeah, his filmography on Wikipedia here. And break down what he wrote and directed, because I think that's important for the stream. And if anybody's out there, I need to know if you guys have ever seen Exorcist 2 before. And then also, are you going to see the new Exorcist film? Hey, what's up, Chief Brody Rules? I think this is the guy who is going to come on tonight. Hey, let me know if you want. I think Tyler is going to send you a link to the stream. Yeah, man, Cruising definitely. If you want to pop in when Cruising comes on, or we didn't see every single film. So if you've watched some of the films that we've missed, let me go over the films real quick, because I wanted to go over those, and you'll be able to hear what we didn't see. Let me pull up his filmography. So I want to go over what he wrote. Why is it not pulling up the regular films? Why is it writing it? I like it when they do it in the Excel sheet. It's easier for me. Damn it. It's not what I need. I need the Excel sheet. There we go. Maybe this will do it. No, it's not going to do it, is it? Where is the filmography at? I might have to look at it. There we go. Oh, Tyler's in here now. There we go. There he is. What's going on, man?
Oh, sorry, I just. Oh, there he is. What's up, Frank?
Yellow. I figured to throw in the cosplay. I saw you pop out. I'm like, oh, I better hop on. I've only seen. I like Friedkin, mind you guys. Hello, my name's Frank Ireland. I'm Chief Brody Rules, aka I Want My TV Now. I have several YouTube channels, but I love Friedkin. I mostly know him from his interviews and stuff, and I mostly only know Cruising and Exorcist. Like, I want to watch his other movies, but I haven't gotten around to them yet.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. So I thought you watched a lot of his films. Okay, so
no.
Like, mention the ones, because we missed a lot of them. Well, I don't know. We missed maybe half of them. And well,
I've been listening. I was waiting for Cruising. I was like,
okay, cool. Yeah, no, and definitely, man. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate you coming on. And
thanks, buddy. Sorry I was jerking you around so much with the time and all that.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I get it. I have to plan my own shows.
It's changed many times because the Astros are on today, the first playoff game. I had to watch that, and of course we delayed this for a long time. Which, again, I'm glad we did, because I wanted to watch a lot of these films. All right, let me pull the list back up here. And the next film we just went over, what, The Guardian? Oh,
yes,
I'm not.
You just finished up The Guardian.
Talk about The Guardian still. What else you got on The Guardian, Tyler? You cut out.
Oh, just I thought it was a decent gem of a horror movie I never saw. And I forgot where I was at when I lost my house internet, so I had to jump on with my phone data. I forgot where I was at with that.
You're talking about when the
basically Killer Nanny with killer dogs, killer nanny, killer tree. There was a cool Texas, or not Texas Chainsaw. There was a cool Evil Dead-esque final battle at the end. I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. Now you keep saying dogs, and you said that in the text to me as well. I don't think those are dogs; those are wolves.
Yeah, they're wolves. I said pup.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to talk about. So the wolves in this film seem like they're real ass wolves. Like it did not seem like CGI at all. Like I don't know how they pulled that off. They really seem like real wolves.
Yeah.
I mean, not when they're like tearing the neck apart and killing someone. That even looked kind of real and stuff, but it's like throughout the film, it was like they were really like wolves running around the house and getting inside the house and chasing.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably were like Hollywood wolves. Yeah, I didn't really research this one too much.
But
Friekin would probably do it. He's always pushing the envelope.
Yeah, he probably brought on real witches. He probably brought on real witches for as advisors.
I never seen a movie where real wolves were running around. It was totally bizarre. I would like watch the film just for that. If you haven't seen the film, it's crazy. And the tree is pretty badass too. The tree is like a badass like villain in the movie.
It's kind of like the Evil Dead vines that raped the girls.
It's fun. It's funny you mentioned that. So the first person this was offered to this film was Sam Raimi.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah, Sam Raimi was offered this film and he didn't take it, and William Friedkin took it. And I wonder if he was thinking, well, I don't want to do a film with a tree killing people. I've already done that with Evil Dead. Yeah. It's a possibility. Yeah. But one of my favorite parts of this film was so the nanny takes the baby out in like a middle of a field.
Yeah.
And I always love this in movies like the movie Zodiac. That's like one of the most brutal kills in the film and the most like haunting scene in the film where the two couples are like picnicking out in the field, and then the Zodiac guy comes in the black mask and starts shooting them. And it kind of reminded me of this scene. They're just off in a field and everything is beautiful and the butterflies are flying by and the birds are whistling and she's got the baby with her, that she's nannying and stuff. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, these three guys.
It's like a greaser gang.
And they're drinking beer, and throwing beer bottles, and talking shit. And it's like they're like the worst fucking these guys are the worst guys of
they're trying to rape a girl and kill the baby. They look like a 50s greaser gang. Like the guy has a leather jacket and it's
they were so fucking sick and twisted. Yeah. So they basically go up to her like, "What are you doing here?" And she warns them because, I don't know if she's a witch. By the way, I love my witch movies, but she might not be a witch. I'm still not certain on if she's a witch or not. But she does have special powers and stuff. And she's like, "You better not mess with me." She warns them. And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And he pulls out like a big ass Rambo knife and shit and tells her something about shit. He'll fuck her up or whatever. And she bails and runs. There's three of them. And she basically gets back to the tree and hides with the baby, under the tree. And then they catch up. And the one main guy, the greaser looking guy, he grabs her. She's got the baby on the ground now. And he grabs her. And then you think, he's going to rape her. And then one of the other guys says, "Cut the bitch. Cut that bitch." So it's like, what the fuck? They're going around cutting people. It's one thing to have one serial killer, but you have three fucked up people together. It's kind of odd that, it's one thing to rape someone and he's like, "Cut her with a knife." And then the other fucking guy, he goes to the tree where the baby's at. And he's like, "What's going on, little baby? Come here, little baby." And it's like, what is he going to do to the baby? Rape the baby? It's really a fucking twisted scene. They're just such sick individuals. And then, man, the fucking tree just comes to life. And the scene where the branch hits the one guy in the fucking face, his shoulder blade comes off, his neck comes off, his face goes into a bunch of pieces, just shreds him. That's a badass scene in the film, man. I was blown away by the cinema.
And it rips the one guy in half, right?
Yeah, it tears his whole head off. It's fucking badass, man. And so the tree just kills them one by one in just brutal ways, man. Just tears them apart. But yeah, those three guys are fucked up, man. It's like, what are they gonna do to the baby? He's like going after the baby. It's like, what the fuck?
It was. Yeah, that scene came out of nowhere. Like, it just kind of displayed her abilities. That was like the whole reason for that.
All right, next up is a serial killer film. So in many ways, he kind of did another horror film. We said two, but I guess this might be, I would say probably loosely. This movie's called Rampage. It came out in 1987. Now, I take it you didn't see this one either?
No, I didn't see it.
All right, so this has got a, I can't remember the guy's name, but it's got a real pretty boy guy, almost to the point he looks like a girl. It's like the prettiest guy you've ever seen. And just a ladies' man and stuff. And so again, Friedkin tackles like real life stuff. So in this, it's all about insanity, how you can go and kill a whole family and then go to court and plead insanity and get off. So it's really about the legal system and stuff. So this pretty boy guy in the beginning of the film, he's just basically going door to door and doing home invasions. And they don't show any of it, but you can tell he's doing some nasty shit. He basically just kills this whole family and then goes and kills this other family. And then after the scene when the police show up, there's like blood and guts and brain matter on the counters, and the whole place is just blood everywhere. So you know he just completely just sliced them to pieces. And but you know what? To be honest with you, like this is really kind of a generic film. I watched it, and then as we were getting ready for this, probably the last week or so, I was like, let me go through and see what I need to see again. And I had forgot that I even watched it. Like, so I was like, I went back and looked, and I was like, oh shit, I did see that. At first, I thought it was like okay, but it's just, I don't know. It's a real generic film. There's nothing. It's kind of like a made-for-television type of movie. It's just, I didn't really enjoy it.
So I thought it was, but you're saying it's pretty gory, so I don't think it was made for television then.
No, like I said, they show like the guts and stuff afterwards. But you don't see any like slicing and dicing or anything like that. No, you don't see any of that. So I didn't love it. The next film came out in 1985, 2 years previous. And I would recommend Chief Brody, you check this film out.
Oh, heck yeah.
I don't think you have. And that's called To Live and Die in LA.
I actually have the Blu-ray, just haven't gotten around to watch it.
Oh yeah, you got to watch it right when
enjoy that one, man.
Yep, I picked it up a few years ago, but
I know you enjoy this one, Tyler.
Oh yeah, I love this one. Kind of in the same vein as French Connection, but it's updated to the 90s. I even heard William Friedkin say he put a feminine twist on this, like what French Connection was so macho, manly macho movie, and he said he put like a feminine twist, like he hired women to work on this. I don't really notice it, but I guess I'll take his word for it. It's a pretty macho movie as it is. What's his name? I guess these were all unknown guys at the time. William Peterson and Willem Dafoe are the stars. Willem Dafoe is kind of the bad guy, but it's kind of like a iffy, like the cop's kind of more bad than the bad guy. Kind of similar to French Connection, where the cop's kind of a scumbag and the bad guy's kind of like a gentleman. But this one, Willem Dafoe, he makes prints money out, and it's really interesting with the money printing, just like crazy William Friedkin gets down and dirty with all of his movies. He actually got guys that could print money to do this, and they were actually printing money out in a building out in the desert for this movie. And Willem Dafoe's character, he's doing all this intricate stuff to make the money look authentic, and I guess that's like the real process. So I think the authorities came down on him at one point. I think there was even some of the crew may have stolen some of this money too. I heard. I don't know if it's true or not.
I think that's based on a real story. I think there's a real guy who did that. They based that on.
Okay, yeah, just like usually with William Friedkin, yeah.
It's fascinating the way they do it, man. It's really cool.
Yeah. So if Willem Dafoe kills William Peterson's partner, like his longtime partner. So Peterson is on, like, he's just on a mission to take Willem Dafoe down, and no matter what cost, kind of like Gene Hackman in French Connection, like he'll break any rules. He'll be worse than the villain to take down this guy. It's crazy and his little partner is kind of like a goody two shoes by the book guy, and he talks that guy into doing so much crazy stuff to take down Willem Dafoe. It almost turns into like this cop versus the world. You got to watch. And then car chase in this, Frank, this is like on par with anything you've seen. Like probably as good as French Connection. This car chase through LA. There's no way this could be made today.
I like how they filmed it, though. Do you know how they filmed it?
How they film it? Oh yeah, let's hear.
They had all the cars sitting still on the highway, and only the one that was in the chase was moving. So when they're driving past the cars, it looks like the other cars are moving.
Oh,
but they're just driving past parked cars.
Oh, excellent. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but that crazy, like there's a traffic jam and there's a shootout in the traffic jam and all. That's crazy.
Yeah. Because William Friedkin is like, you know what? If we're just going to move the car, it looks like the cars are moving. So we just
it's brilliant. I would have never known that.
Yeah.
I wonder if they did that in French Connection too.
Oh no, French Connection was real.
Okay.
French Connection was all like they had cameras set up. He was in the passenger seat. They had cops on the payroll. Like, hey, we're gonna drive through here. Yeah.
They pretty much could get away with anything because he had buddies that were cops. So they go, "It's okay, we're filming a commercial or something."
Yep. Yeah. So it's very different than this one. This one was definitely more controlled.
Yeah. Yeah, and then and our only other thing I want to mention is our boy Steve James had a little role in this from American Ninja.
Yeah, man, I fucking love it, man.
Yeah.
He plays like a tough black gang member too.
Yeah.
And it's like that one scene where what's the main actors? The
William Peterson.
No, sorry, it was actually William Dafoe.
So
Dafoe. You see the gang members like going back to the house, Steve James.
Yeah.
And William Dafoe, you can see that he's sitting on a couch, like a chair inside of Steve James' house. And I was like, man, this motherfucker's crazy. Like out there again, William Friedkin makes things seem like they're real, like you're watching a real shit going on. It's not like just a movie, you know. And I was like feeling for like William Dafoe. I was like, this motherfucker's crazy. Steve James is like the gang leader and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they go into the house, and then you're like, oh, William Dafoe's fucked. And then all of a sudden, I guess his enforcer, he's got that enforcer guy. He comes to the door and stuff and starts shooting everybody, and everybody gets killed and stuff. But again, like William Dafoe is one of my favorite actors of all time. I love William Dafoe. He's really good in this because he's like a bad guy, but he's also like a real suave character. He's like this artist. He's like a really like complex character. The way it was written. Did he direct this film? I mean, did he write this film too?
I doubt.
Yes, he did. He worked on the
Oh, yeah, he did.
Okay, all right. So this is one of like the handful of films that he wrote and directed.
I didn't realize it's based on a novel.
Really an important film in his filmography.
Gerald Prechevich wrote a novel it's based on. I didn't realize that. He probably didn't read it. He's like, this novel's boring. I'm not going to read it.
Gerald actually wrote the book.
Yeah.
To Live and Die in LA. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed he takes a lot of source material and does his own thing with it. He doesn't really do anything original.
Well, he works with a writer. I think that's what William Friedkin usually does. He tries to find a writer and collab with them.
But you know what I mean? Like, like a Wes Craven, like Wes Craven made a movie where it was his ideas. It was all his concepts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I really like this movie. I think it falls short of a masterpiece. I think people throw that word around too much, but this was definitely one of his best films for sure.
Oh yeah.
And trying to think what else in this film. It was a solid movie. I loved it. I thought it was really
I'm surprised it's William Peterson's like second movie. The first one was Thief. This one, and then after this was Manhunter. I was like, oh, man.
Manhunter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, that actor, William Peterson. I remember him from Manhunter. That's where I remember him from. Yeah, good actor himself.
And I guess he wanted to get, I forget if it was an interview or the commentary, he wanted to get like no names, or not no names, but like not recognizable actors for this. And he told that to William Dafoe. He's all, I want you because you're not famous or whatever. And William was like, oh, thanks, Bill. I've been in a lot of things. I guess he wasn't like a household name back then.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Defoe. Let's see, filmography. Check his acting. How many movies was he in before this?
Walter Hill's Streets of Fire. You like that one?
I have not. I used that for my Dark Knight trailer, or Batman trailer.
Oh yeah.
Have not. What do you call it? Seen it yet though? Because there's like movies where I'll like skim through the footage and just like I sometimes like watch it that way. But it looks like this movie was like one of his earliest roles, because it's Loveless, The Hunger, Streets of Fire, and then there's like some other ones in between. But this is probably like his like fifth big one. After this was Platoon, so that was probably the one that skyrocketed him.
Yeah. Because he's pretty much been a household name since then, and he probably still is, huh?
Totally.
Yeah.
He's like one of those great character actors. I feel like everyone knows. Like,
my dogs are like, "Hey, I'm bored out here in the living room."
Oh.
But yeah, no, very solid film. I definitely enjoyed that one. Let me see. All right, the next film I've not seen, it's called Deal of the Century. It came out in 1983.
Yeah. I watched that because it's like one of the only William Friedkin movies on Tubi. You got Tubi, Frank? Or you mostly
I try to do physical media. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I know you're a physical media guy. I'm addicted to Tubi though. Like the selection is so good, but I couldn't find Deal of the Century anywhere. I have a big media store here, and I couldn't find it. I watched it, and I think it was pretty bland. Like it wasn't a bad movie. It was a movie about an arms dealer, Chevy Chase. But his usual acting really pretty much plays the same guy. It's not bad, but it's just Chevy Chase being Chevy Chase. I think he like narrates it like he does in Fletch. It's kind of a dark. Oh, you all right?
Chevy Chase is in it. Wow.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver and our boy Gregory Hines and Sigourney Weaver.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's an arms dealer.
Just Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah. No, it's a good movie. I would say. I watched the review of Siskel and Ebert. Kind of were down on it because it was making light of like arms dealing and like crooked arms deals or whatever. But I mean, that's like every movie has dark stuff. You kind of have to like make light of anything if you're making a comedy or whatever. But Gregory Hines is in it. It's kind of a bland movie, I thought, but I would watch it if you're interested, just because it has a good cast.
Did you say it was a comedy?
Kind of a comedy, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
is it like that movie Spies Like Us? Is it like that one?
Something in that vein, yeah. Okay. I don't think it's that funny though.
Yeah, I don't remember Chevy. I don't think Chevy Chase has done like any kind of serious roles. I don't even.
No, it's probably the most serious thing I've seen him in, but it's really heavy on the comedy.
Oh, okay. So, Frank, you don't watch any streaming at all?
I try not to. I'm not a fan of it. I'm just not a fan.
Okay.
Because I have.
I'm the physical media Matt, and I watch streaming. I gotta change my name.
Like the only streaming I've really kind of done is the Criterion channel, and that's because I was finally sold when they did the. Oops! I just noticed my microphone's way pointed over there. That should be better. I noticed the Criterion when they did the Jimmy Stewart month a few months ago. That's what I popped on. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of it because like I own a lot of Disney movies, so I don't need Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I already own a shit ton of movies, DVDs, Blu-rays, just because when I was younger, I would go to FYE, Media Play, and buy these DVDs. And then even Second Spin, when they still existed, I would buy shit tons of movies. And then I would go to the library, rent movies, and then rip some movies because I'm an editor, so I rip movies all the time. So I have like a huge library in stock. So like whenever people talk about like streaming, it's like I got most of everything. And The thing I don't like about streaming is just because they can pull whatever they want whenever. And it's like, I don't want you to dictate what I want to watch. It's like, if I want to watch, the Die Hard series, I want to watch Die Hard. I'm going to own that.
Yeah.
Right. No, I can respect that. Yeah, definitely. I mean, with video games, like I always give my friend Old Dog a hassle because he's got a digital system, and I'm like, every time he wants to, like, because now they're starting to play old school games again, so they'll play like the old Call of Duty games and stuff, and he'll have to buy it for like $39.99, and then I'll just buy it off of eBay for $6.99.
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Dude, you're the one that bought the digital system. Physical media still rules, So
yeah." And I see there's a comment here
because I'm not going to spend $100 million on movies, because I watch new stuff all the time, so I don't want to buy everything that I watch. So I'm constantly watching like new films and stuff. So
yeah, I'm always going to the movie theater. Like today, I just saw the Exorcist movie. So
let us know
when we get to it. Yeah, or do you want to know now?
I guess. Well, do you want to wait? I mean, I guess you can tell us now. I mean, is it a direct sequel of Exorcist?
Yes, it ignores all the sequels, so it's a
legacy
legacy
sequel. We'll talk
sequel.
about it, I guess, after we talk about the last movie. Then.
Okay. Yep. And I just want to bring up Mike's comment before we move on. It says streamer also edit movie scenes. A good example of that is Toy Story. They took out the casting couch scene from the streaming version.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, like, if you have like the VHS or like the early DVD release, you still have that scene. So that's another reason why I don't like streaming, is because they'll edit things out.
Is that Mike Garcia down there?
That's actually what's up, Mike Garcia? How you doing, bud? That's another reason why I love Laserdisc so much. Some of the Laserdiscs I have stuff in there that are not in the DVDs, not in the Blu-rays. It has all the original. It's the closest thing. Some of the Laserdiscs are the closest thing you can get
Star Wars
sound-wise and visually that you got from the movie theaters.
Yeah,
when the movies came out. So I'm a huge fan of Laserdisc. I have about.
In fact, I just bought Wayne's World just because of that, because this recent 4K release is the first version to be accurate to the theatrical release, because for that scene when he starts playing Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
It had that in a theatrical, but every home release took it out with like sound alike. So with this 4K, it's the original sound. So I'm like, I got to get that just to have it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're fixing some of them with the 4K releases, but like there's certain Blu-ray releases that people just won't even watch. They're like, fuck that. It's horrible now, with a Blu-ray release. But yeah, man, love the I think one of the Star Wars Laserdisc, people to this day say that's the one you gotta watch. It has no
Is
CGI.
it New Hope?
The best one to watch. I think RoboCop is another one. There's a few films that are better to watch on Laserdisc, according to some Laserdisc heads, I guess.
Yeah, I have the despecialized editions of Star Wars, so
you have any
at a convention. Laserdisc,
you got like the Blu-ray. Someone like made a bootleg Blu-ray of it, right?
Of the despecialized. Yep.
I wanted a buddy that collect Laserdisc with me, so I sent Tyler the Laserdisc player in the mail.
Oh man!
And I shipped it media mail. They were like, the post office was like, "This motherfucker's way too heavy." I'm like, "Dude, Laserdisc are heavy."
Yeah, they are.
I surrounded it with Laserdisc and taped it all together.
Yeah,
that thing must have weighed 200 pounds. And that
I never got into Laserdisc.
All right, let's get to the next film here, I guess. There you go. Cruising.
There it is.
Is that the next one? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Of the 80s.
Yes.
One of the greatest decades in movie or film history, the 80s. Cruising, starring Al Pacino. Directed by William Friedkin. And they loved each other the whole time they were filming this.
I don't give a rolling donut fuck of what Al Pacino thinks.
Yeah.
I think that's what Friedkin said.
I'm gonna let you go with this one, Brody. It's on you.
You're gonna let me this one? Okay. So the reason why I watched this one is because a few years ago, 2016, I was making a slasher fan trailer, and it was going to be like, you know, a holiday themed. So I was like doing like research on slashers, and this was one of them. I guess this is another technically a horror or slasher film from Friedkin.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I watched it, and it was just for like clips to see what I could use, and it was just interesting. So the movie is about this police officer who starts going undercover in the leather gay bar scene in the 1980s, 70s, late 70s, early 80s, and there's a serial killer going out there killing these gay guys at the bar. So he's going out there, and the title sort of implies two reasons, like cruising, because that's what police officers do. They cruise down the street to investigate, or cruising the gay bar for, you know, a piece of ass or something. And there's a lot of like twists and turns in this. And when making this movie, he had like a lot of like gay porn scenes in there, or like more risque scenes, so he can get away with more. So like he can cut those scenes and keep other scenes, you know. So that's why he had it like that. And then a spoiler alert, I don't know if anyone's watching or who's seen it before, but at the end, it's sort of like you don't quite know if Al Pacino is the serial killer or he's just carrying the same kind of item. So it's like, did he do it?
Or he takes over the role, or
yeah, or if he like is inspired by that, or like there's like a copycat almost, like someone else did some and then he did a lot of them. Something like that.
And even like a supernatural element might be there. That's also what some people say about it too.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, there's some like interesting scenes in this movie, like the interrogation scene where they get that black guy come in there and just slap him.
Yeah.
Paul Sorvino's in this, Karen Allen, Richard Cox.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. A lot of good actors in this one. Oh yeah, Powers Booth. Yeah, that's right. He does show up.
Oh yeah, and our boy, what's his name? James Remar was the one gay guy that James Remar from the Warriors.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yep.
That's and funny. Joe Spinell's in this too.
Joe Spinell's one of the cops. Yeah.
That's so. Yeah, because he's like a really like shitty cop, and then later he's at the gay bar all dressed up in leather.
Yeah.
Spinell for Maniac. Yep. That's right.
Yeah, he would just bust. He would always bust those two gay or the two trannies just so he could get head from them.
I cried laughing the one scene where Al Pacino starts dancing in the club. I just thought it was one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in a movie. It was hilarious. Yeah. Also, that was like the first. He was like a rookie cop too, right? This is like one of the first positions that he was given. Like. They offered it to him. I guess he could have turned it down. I don't know. But they were like, hey, you want to do this? And I guess he was like super ambitious and said, you know what? Let's do it. So, but again, like William Friedkin, man, like really, not that I've been to New York in the gay cruising scene, but man, that sure does seem like it is spot on, man.
It gets down and dirty.
Deal.
I guess he was friends with a mob boss that owned a lot of those clubs or something. Is that what the story is?
Yep. That's right.
Because he found out that they owned a lot of them because they made a lot of money. And they were afraid to admit it because they're like, we don't want to be associated with gay bars, but like we own them and they make a shit ton of money. And it's like, they're good to us. And then the whole reason why he made this movie is because this movie was inspired by a serial killer who was actually in The Exorcist. It's one of the medics.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep. Yeah. So like when that guy got arrested, he's like, "Oh shit, I worked with that guy in The Exorcist."
Whoa.
And that's what made him get attached to this movie. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Now I want to say that he wrote this film.
Let's see, double check. Screenplay. Yeah, William Friedkin. Yep, he did.
Yeah. So this is another big one for him. I mean, I really like this film. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, it's good.
A good slasher film.
Yeah, I think this is one of my favorites.
It's good.
It's a good like murder mystery. It's really good. Kind of nice to see Karen Allen, like she's a sight for sore eyes with all that gay stuff.
Yeah, they what was the story with William Friedkin and Al Pacino? Was it just because Al Pacino was just this cocky actor and Friedkin's this cocky director, and they just bumped heads? Or...
Because Al Pacino was probably very method and had like ideas, and like Friedkin just act.
Yeah.
Read the script and act, and Al Pacino's like, I'm an actor here.
Yeah. He's super young,
so he's on his shit list with Benicio del Toro and Nick Nolte.
Yeah, you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, he also loved Tommy Lee Jones because Tommy Lee Jones
is
like
yeah.
straight shooter.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier in the stream, Tommy Lee Jones.
Mm-hmm.
What is it saying? Hi, sorry, it wasn't Netflix. It was CBS and Home Alone 2.
Yep, they cut out the Trump scene.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Give me a break.
Down the hall and to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Cruising was fun, man. I thought it was a good flick.
Yeah.
I remember when I watched it and talked about it on my channel, people are commenting saying, "You're full of shit. This movie's not good."
Oh, no, it's hella good.
Actually,
it's good.
Pretty damn good.
Because it's like all grimy. It's like it really gets that New York City, like, you know, before it got cleaned up, Disney-fied. But yeah, that's why I dig this movie. That's because I was doing research on the slasher thing, so like it was perfect for. I don't think I ended up using any clips, but it was just like research of like what that time era was. Yeah,
that's one of my favorite slashers. The next one I did not see, but I'm a fan of a lot of 70s films, and I do want to see this one. It's called The Brink's Job.
Oh, Peter Falk.
Oh, Peter Falk. Huh?
Oh, Peter Falk in it?
Oh, Peter Boyle. Who he wanted Peter Boyle to play Gene Hackman's character, and then he got him in this. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep. And Paul Sorvino again.
Yeah, Paul Sorvino again.
I mean, not that I've heard anything about the film. I don't know if it's good or not, but I'm definitely going to check that out.
Mm-hmm.
And you haven't seen that one, right, Tyler?
No. I don't even know how to watch it. I couldn't find it on physical, and I couldn't find it streaming anywhere. Or any of the free stuff. I'm not paying for streaming.
And the next film, which Tyler was trying to get me to watch for a while, he sent me the movie. And Tyler will send me movies sometimes and say they're good, and I'll be like, I'll watch it, like Blood Match, and I'll be like, it's not really that good. But I should have took his word for this fucking film, man.
This is on my guilty list. I should have seen this before.
I didn't see it till I was a grown man, or I didn't see it till I was like 35.
William Friedkin film. Like, I love this movie. I love so much.
Mm-hmm.
The Sorcerer from 1977.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird because we're going in reverse chronological order, but let's just put it this way: the two films before this one, William Friedkin was a god to everyone. I mean, he was like the biggest director in Hollywood. Anybody would give him any amount of money to make a movie. He was the best. And this movie was a total disaster of a film as far as budget. I can't remember what the budget was. I think it was something astronomical for the time, and it lost a ton of money.
22 million. 22 million.
It came out at the same time as Star Wars, right?
It came out the same fucking week as Star Wars.
Oh man, what a bummer!
5.9 million theatrically.
Poor guy, you know what I mean? Like Star Wars, there was nothing like Star Wars at the time. It just blew everything out of the water. And but like I said, man, this was my first watch, and I was absolutely blown away by this film. I think it's one of the best films I've ever fucking seen. I'm just gonna say it right now. It's so odd, like William Friedkin, like in this film, I can't remember if he's done this in other movies where the antagonists are actually like protagonists. Like the people that you're rooting for in this film are pieces of shit a lot.
Yeah.
But somehow they're all makes you root for them, which is like a really cool thing that he does in itself, that he can make you root for such piece of shits. One of the guys is a fucking a terrorist bomber who bombs and kills women and children, and somehow you forget about that as the film goes on, and he's one of the guys in the trucks trying to transport the
nitroglycerin or
nitro.
Yeah.
You forget about it. You're like rooting for him.
Yeah, they're all like wanted by the law at different countries. They're all like criminals from different countries. They all come together to do this one last job.
Yeah, you got the
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, pretty much like that.
And then you got our boy Roy Scheider, which was one of my favorite actors of all time.
Heck yeah.
He's in this mob situation where they're robbing a it was in a church, right?
Yeah.
It was a mob owned like church, and they have like a setup like in the basement of it where they're playing cards and stuff, and they rob that poker game and get all kinds of money and stuff, and then they go off. I don't want to this is a really good movie, so I kind of don't want to spoil it, but I mean, this happens at the very beginning of the film. Yeah. Anyway, they end up getting to fight these Scheider and these other robbers and stuff while they're in their car. There's 2 in the front, 2 in the back, and next thing you know, the car flips because they get in this fight, and the guys die except for Roy Scheider. He gets out of the window and crawls away and ends up getting out of that situation. But there's all kinds of different people that go through all kinds of terrible situations, but they're all like bad people and stuff, and they end up going to, what is it, South America?
Yeah, somewhere. I don't think it's I forgot what country it is, if it's supposed to be Chile or Brazil or
somehow,
or maybe Colombia. I don't know. I don't think they ever say what country it is.
Yeah, well, he knew like the president of one of those countries.
Yeah.
And so he was able to film over there with no issue.
Yeah, Colombia. Yep, there it is.
Yeah. So again, a real ass film where you're actually in the jungles of Colombia.
Yeah.
Not no bullshit green screenery stage on a stage. This is in the jungles of Colombia. And basically this oil fire starts, and they're making all kinds of money off of oil and stuff. And this oil fire starts at an oil fire refinery. And the only way to put the fire out is to use nitroglycerin. And they go to get nitroglycerin, but it's like, I don't know, 100 miles away from where the oil refinery is at. And they have to transport this nitroglycerin in these trucks through the jungle. Yeah.
They can't fly in because they'll get shot down or whatever.
Yeah, and too much bumps of the vehicle, and they're going across these
they have to be careful.
Bridges, these wooden bridges, and like they talk about the filming of this film. Those trucks that they were using were falling into the rivers off of these bridges, and they had to get new trucks and stuff. Like, I don't know if someone died in this film or not, but like they really went all out. This was like his I don't know. This
Apocalypse
is like
Now.
The craziest thing he's ever done in his life. No film is even close to this. What the actors had to go through, and holy fuck, man! I was blown away by this shit.
You're welcome.
I don't want to say anything. I'm not going to spoil it, but the score in this is amazing.
I was going to mention that before we headed back.
Oh yeah.
In the beginning of the film, well, I can say this. So Scheider and those guys, they get away with the money. And then the mob boss guy has the hitmen, like a crew of hitmen. And they're like walking through like this restaurant to go meet up with him. And they start playing this evil ass, like crazy fucking score that just sounds so badass, man. It's so iconic. And I don't think you hear that you hear that score the rest of the movie until the very end of the film, where you're reintroduced to. I'm saying too much. It is just it's so badass, man. That when that music starts playing at the end of the film, you're like, oh, shit. And they don't explain what happens. You don't get to see what happens at the end of the film, which he does a lot. You just have to, it's left up to your imagination.
Yeah, that happens a lot with his movies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I would be spoiling this if you weren't in the stream, but I really want you to see this film, so I'm not going to say what ends up happening. But Roy Scheider, I think I heard it in one a scene in this film. Tyler knows what I'm talking about. It's set up so beautifully, man. Really beautifully. I could talk forever about this shit, man.
I was going to say, I did hear something in an interview. I think it might have been the Mark Maron interview where he talks about the ending, because Mark Maron was like, "What's up with that ending, man? What happens?" And And Friekin's just like, it's up to you. It's whatever you think.
I love it. I love it. The next film we're going to talk about, I'm not okay with the ending. This one, perfect. Perfect ending.
Hang on. One more fun fact about the Tangerine Dream score. It was used in the Mad Max trailer, so that's how I know the score.
Oh, wow. I didn't know
the original Mad Max trailer.
Yeah, I forgot that it was Tangerine Dreams that
did that. Good.
Right, I completely forgot.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing about this I thought was kind of an interesting nugget. Francisco Rabal is in this, and William Friedkin originally wanted him to play the bad guy in the French Connection. Like he even thought it was the guy. He said, I want the guy from this whatever so and so movie. And so they go, okay, we got him, and they brought him in. It wasn't the same guy. It was an actor named what was his name? Fernando Rey is the actor from the French Connection, but he wanted Francisco Rabal. And he's like, I don't want this guy. He can't even speak French, and he doesn't look like what I want. But then they tried to find Francisco Rabal, and he was making another movie, and he can't speak French either. So they just went ahead with Fernando Rey, who did a good job. But now he actually got Francisco Rabal to be in The Sorcerer. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it is cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think I forgot to mention the triglyceride. What is it again?
Nitroglycerin.
Nitroglycerin, yep.
That they find is leaking too.
Oh yeah.
So they have to wrap it up real carefully. Like it's way more dangerous than regular shit. It's leaking too.
Yeah.
So it's what a mess of a movie.
I liked how they even had to improvise with the nitro, like when they got to that big tree that was in the middle of the path.
Oh, that was one of the best parts.
Yeah.
So good. So good, man. The acting
and the movies,
spot on, everything.
Like to say, it was also referenced in The Simpsons in the Mr. Plow episode.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Plow has to get up to the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
They had to cross a bridge in the mountains.
Yeah. Did you see the original Wages of Fear, the Mexican movie, or the original?
I know it was based on that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an adaptation, or there was an earlier adaptation of it.
And of course,
I haven't seen
changed things up again too, right?
Yeah.
He changed it up a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not the same movie at all. It's just inspired by the same book or what.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to see 3 films, I would say that's one you got to see.
Yeah.
From his filmography, for sure.
For sure.
All right. Well, the next one's The Exorcist.
All right. Here you go.
1973, my second favorite horror film of all time.
Yeah. What's your first one?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh,
74. Yeah. I know yours is Halloween, so I watched one of your streams.
Yes. Love Halloween, love Texas Chainsaw.
I saw Casablanca, and I'm like, Casablanca? Well, he's definitely not going to have something super cool as his first. And then you say Halloween, I'm like, oh, shit.
I'm all over the place. I like everything.
I dig it, man. I dig it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have both seen this, I'm sure.
Yep. Did you see it on the big screen last weekend?
I'll let
you. Right. Oh, excellent.
Brody, because you actually saw the sequel to this as well.
Oh, so I'm going to introduce one. Okay, so this one is The Exorcist, probably the number 1 movie he's most popular for, because then I think either 2 would probably be French Connection and 3 would be Sorcerer, if you were to rank his top 3. This is probably one of the greatest horror movies of all time, really, probably top 10. It depends on your taste of film, but this is definitely top 10. And the thing that really makes this movie great is that he believes it, even though he doesn't, he's not religious. And William Blatty, the guy who wrote it, believes it. So, with that team up, it makes the whole movie work. And the thing, I'm going to kind of mention the sequel today because what I'm talking about here, but he films The Exorcist for real. We're going to film it at a hospital. This is the actual things they would do. They would do the CAT scans. This is everything. And I'm going to film it like a documentary. I'm going to film it like my early documentaries. And that's what he did. With this new movie, it feels very movie. It feels like another entry of the Halloween trilogy by David Gordon Green. It doesn't feel like a documentary. It doesn't feel real. It feels part of that new Haddonfield that he's created. It doesn't feel like this. And this feels absolutely real. because you're going through all the steps with these characters. The actress, what's her name? Ellen Burstyn.
Yeah.
She plays the mom. And you got the greatest, like Linda Blair. That's a find. With her performance as Little Reagan. Holy smokes!
Yeah.
And then Father, what do you call it? Karras.
Father Karras. Yeah.
Karras.
Father Karras.
Yep. And then the makeup design in this too.
Oh.
With not only Reagan but Max von Sydow.
Yeah,
his old age makeup. He looks exactly the same. That's exactly how he aged. He looked exactly like that.
This movie always tripped me out because I was like, how is Max von Sydow 80 years old for like 50 years? Like, I didn't realize he looks the same for.
Yeah. And when I say they filmed this for real, they film it for real because they built that room, Reagan's room, in an ice storage to get that breath, and they had to light it properly so you could see that breath.
Oh, wow.
And after a while, their body temperature would adjust, so they would have to stop filming because after a while, their breath would disappear. So they're like, okay, you guys have to adjust. We got to warm up again, come back in here. And then, like, there's some things in this movie that I really do love. So when I watched it on the big screen the other last weekend, I think it was, I was watching it, and there's a scene, you know, when they're doing the exorcism, and then they both fall down, and they look at the bed, and then like Reagan's like reaching up towards the sky, and you see the Pazuzu statue in the background. He filmed that way after the movie was done because the last thing they filmed was the Iraq opening because they had to go travel. So they're like, we're going to finish everything first in Georgetown and on the sets, and then we're going to go to Iraq. So when they went to Iraq, they had that statue Pazuzu, so they send it back to the thing, and he's like, you know what? I want to use a statue. Let's just build up Reagan's set again and put it in the background. I don't know where it's going to go in, but I want to film this shot. So it's Reagan reaching up, even though she's tied to the bed. If you're watching the movie, it's like a continuity error because she's supposed to be tied to the bed, but the next shot, she's untied, reaching up, and there's that Pazuzu statue, and it's almost like a vision they're seeing while she's tied to the bed. Awesome movie. I love this movie. I don't even think I can explain the plot yet. I've been talking about how much I love it. But the plot is about a little girl who gets possessed by a demon. They never named the demon, but it's Pazuzu. We learned in the sequel, and I believe Pazuzu is mentioned in the book. So it's definitely a Pazuzu that takes over her, or AKA Captain Howdy, because they give us so many different things. You're never sure what it is. You don't know if it's really Reagan dealing with the loss of her father due to a divorce. You don't know if it's the butler who's doing like weird Christian shit with the cross and stuff. You don't know if it's the actual board, Captain Howdy. There's so many different things. Like, it could be real, it could not be real, but both the director and writer think it's real. They believe the material. They believe that this girl has been possessed, and it's all about good versus evil, and it's just great. I love this movie. I'll let you guys talk. I was talking about it, but go ahead.
Well, I will say this: Roy Scheider wanted to be Karras in this film, so they turned him down. They actually told him, "We just cannot believe you as being a priest. You wouldn't be believable as a priest." That's what they told him. And
he really was hard on that guy. Is his name Jason Miller, the guy they got to play Father Karras? Because I guess and the studio was against it, I guess, because he was a no name, but he was like a theatrical actor, and Bill Friedkin was familiar with this guy. And I guess they were in discussion. He says, this guy, Father Karras, is just me. Like, I was raised Catholic, and I was having battles with my my spirituality. Right. Like, I wasn't sure about my spirituality. And man, he does a bang up performance. I think like his performance is probably the best in this movie. And not to say like everyone else isn't tearing it up in this.
It's just funny because he used Roy Scheider in French Connection, and then they turned him down for the next film, but then he was a big part of Sword too. The next film, of course.
Yeah, they originally hired Stacy Keach.
Oh yeah, Stacy Keach, he was the one.
Yeah, because they went to see Jason Miller, and Jason Miller's like, I'm not going to do this, or he didn't read the script or something. And William Friekin's like, forget that guy. I'm going to get Stacy Keach. So then finally, Jason Miller read the script or read the book. He said, oh my God, I need to be in this movie. So like William Friekin's like, all right, we'll film your little test thing. And he did so well because I think the test footage is when he was doing This is the Body of Christ. This is the blood. It's like that cool scene in the middle of the movie, like right before the exorcism or right before they get the approval, where it's that scene. But that's how he got the role.
And I think they had already hired Stacy Keach, right?
They had to pay and play. Yeah, he had to pay or play in this contract, so they had to pay him off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I believe in God, I believe in the devil. So when I watch films like this, it's real to me.
It's
you know
powerful,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like those type of conflicts between God and the devil, like it's a real thing to me.
Yeah,
and,
I really like how it plays out too. Like the world's gotten so secular or anti like faith. Like they don't believe it's a devil from the beginning. They think it's psychological. They think something's wrong with their brain. All these tests, they prove nothing. They want to do more tests, even though they already found out it's nothing. They want to go to a psychiatrist, a psychologist. They can't find anything. They don't want to believe. They even go to the Catholic Church, and even the Catholic Church doesn't want to believe it's Satan. They think we don't even have exorcists anymore. We have psychologists. Like it's gotten so far away from like faith. Like it seems like that's how these evil spirits can rise up, because just like no one has any faith. I don't know.
These movies always get me with like if they go to like Iraq or some distant place and they're digging and stuff and they find statues and stuff. It always like pulls me in like so much. And like I want to watch what happens. I believe like something could have an ancient curse. It really is so believable to me. And I don't even remember what the scene was, but that like after they find the well, number one, that one you mentioned earlier, Brody, the Hasusu or whatever his name is.
Pazuzu, the demon.
Yeah, they have that statue. It's so evil looking.
Yeah.
And then they're on the opposite ends of the side where it's Mary versus the Pazuzu. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So good. But anyway, they're up in like some kind of office area or whatever, and like the clock stops working or something.
Yep.
That I don't know why that creeped me out so much. It was like a good scene. And
I think because it's like setting everything up, because he went to the dig and found it's almost like they unearthed the demon, because that little head of the statue. He makes the connection to the other demon, and then not only that, but they find that little pendant, which is too modern, and you find out that same pendant is the one that Damien has. So it's all like set up. Have a face off at the end.
And then all that goes into this whole different world with Linda Blair and this house with this rich lady, and it changes up so fast, and it's so good. I think one of my favorite scenes is they're having like a dinner party downstairs. And Linda Blair's character comes down, and I guess in the one cut she does the spider, the backward spider deal where she comes down the stairs. But in the other cut, she just walks down the stairs, and the one guy's talking about, I'm going to take a flight tomorrow or whatever. And she comes down the stairs and looks at him and says, "You're going to die in that flight." And starts pissing on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Just streaming on the floor. Such a disturbing scene.
They're both in the movie, because that guy's an astronaut and he's going to go into the shuttle.
Oh,
so
yeah.
The peeing scene is still in there, but the spider walk comes in later.
Oh, it's after he finds out her director got his neck broken and fell out. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Because on the director's cut, I couldn't figure out which parts, because it's been a while since I seen it. A lot of this I didn't remember, and I didn't remember her doing that.
Yeah, because I've seen both cuts too. Most of us seen both cuts where they didn't have that one scene in it.
But the spider walks right after that Hendrix scene, because like she's being interviewed by the police officer, and that's when she finds out, oh shit, my daughter killed the director, and then she does the spider walk. Yeah,
but she's like pissing on the floor and telling him that, and like if I was him, I would never go into the show. I would never, like, even with Final Destination, where the one guy's telling everybody the plane's gonna crash, I would not go on that plane. Fuck that, man. If someone's acting that crazy, I'm not doing it. Yeah, great film, man.
Excellent. Even that shot right there, the shot with the silhouette and the light, they took 2 nights to film that, because the first night they didn't get the lighting right and the smoke, so they had to go for a second night to get that famous shot.
What do you guys think of the police detective? I kind of liked him. He's really likable, and he's a movie buff like us.
Yes.
Yeah, I like their relationship.
I like his character.
Talking about movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And it perfectly adds the real world element, because you feel like this the priest and what they're going through is like so supernatural and not normal, but then it drags you down to that the normal real world. Like, how is a real world cop going to see this? It's like one of the cool moments is like they're in the middle of the exorcism, and you hear the knocking at the door, and the cop's there because he's onto them. It's man, so good.
That last scene though is so good. Like Max von Sydow, I can never pronounce his name. Is it Cedo?
Cedo, I think Cedo, yeah.
Cedo, yeah. He was like he's super into it, like he's super focused, but he's old and he needs meds. And like the other guy's just like, what the hell's going on? And like he's just going along with it. And Max Cedo's like knows exactly what he has to do, and he's like super into it. And then like when he dies, you're like, what the hell is this guy gonna do? Father Karras.
And then of course you have Karras when they have the dream sequences when he's seeing his mother go down.
Yeah, that was disturbing.
And all of a sudden the devil's face pops up real quick. They do that quick flash.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that in the original? Because I would always see the devil's face. I don't remember if that was in the original. The devil's face, like whether it be 1 or 2 frames of the face.
That terrified me when I
first that's scary.
It.
Yeah, I don't think there's as many in the theatrical cut. I think there's more in the but my favorite, like I love that scene too because that Zuzu demon uses that as to taunt him with his guilt. They're like, Demi, why do you do this to me, Demi?
Oh man, yeah, and he would say, "Oh, you killed me, son, or you let me die, and I'm in hell." Or
oh, it's so to me, Demi.
Yeah. Oh man.
And I love what you were mentioning how Father Marin is just like he sounds straightforward because Damon's like, well, there's like 3 demons in there, and he's just there's only one.
Yeah.
Do not let it in you. Don't let it like affect you because it's all lying.
It's
just lying to you. So good.
Oh man, I love
this movie.
Then of course all the stuff that comes out of her mouth when she's spazzing out,
God.
nasty shit, the sexual stuff. It's just like so over the top.
Yeah.
Fuck him, Karras. Fuck him.
Oh man.
So good.
Do you know what your daughter did?
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
I like how like young people now go back and watch it. So this is not good. It's like what?
Yeah.
Are you talking about?
They're so desensitized because they think it has to be over the top, like the Conjuring or something.
Well, they need their jump scares. They gotta have a jump scare every 5 seconds.
There's like only one jump scare in this movie, and that's the one she's in the attic. She's in the attic with that like, the candle, and it goes. That's like the only jump scare. Everything else is genuine.
It's amazing.
I think it's like more than a horror movie. It doesn't. I don't know. It's hard to put this in the same category as something like Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
it seems like it's something so much more. I don't know.
Almost like a family drama.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think my favorite scene in this because it got me because I was like, Jesus, it just shows me the power of cinema. And like, I actually believe this, even though it's theatrical. But it's the scene that made me emotional was when the mom goes to see Karras to tell him the whole situation and to ask for exorcism. And he's like, listen, it's probably just in her mind. And she just breaks down emotionally.
Oh,
like,
I know.
I've seen every doctor in this world. I've seen everybody. And they told me to go to you. And now you're telling me to go back to them.
Yeah, that was like, good.
Oh, man. It's so good.
Yeah.
That's like my favorite scene in this movie. Because
I think.
Yeah. And I think my second favorite, too, is when he gets kicked out the room and Karras just feels like so like let down. Like he let himself down. But she's like, is my daughter going to be safe? And he looks at her and he's like, you know what? Yeah, I can't let her down. I'm going to save this girl.
Yeah.
Because I can't let evil win because he let evil win. He let evil in the first time by believing that it was his mother. But he's like, no, I can't let evil win. He goes back up the stairs. So good. The power of faith for him to go back up there. So good.
I also love the scenes with Karras where, he's constantly like smoking and he's drinking. He has a problem with liquor and stuff. And you're thinking, well, he's a priest. He shouldn't, it's almost like the devil is getting at him right there too. Like you shouldn't be getting drunk and smoking cigarettes and stuff. It's like there's so much.
The other guy was kind of a scum. The other
film, for him.
Yeah.
Of course, he fights with the fact is he a real? Does he really have faith in God and stuff?
Yeah.
And that whole thing is so cool.
And the other guy was the other priest was kind of a scumbag, but like he kind of had an epiphany at the end, or his buddy.
Yeah. He was a really good actor too. That guy.
Yeah.
He was a real priest, Father Dyer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was a real priest. He was someone that William Peter Blatty knew, William O'Malley. That's who he was.
Oh wow, he seemed like a trained actor to me.
Man, he gets good acting performances out of non-actors, huh?
You know how he got the good performance at the end when he's crying and shaking? It's because they were filming. They had like 60 takes. The guy wasn't doing it. He goes to the priest. He sees this guy, the Father Dyer, who's a real priest. He says, do you love me? Yes. Do you trust me? Yes. slaps him so hard.
Okay.
He starts crying. We're like, all right, let's roll.
All
and
right.
then that's when he's doing the last rites. That's why he's crying and shaking, because he just got slapped real hard by William Friedkin to get that line reading.
Who slapped him?
William Friedkin slapped the priest.
Oh,
in real life.
Because
it was cold at night. It was like 30 degrees. Night.
Damn.
They did like 30 or 60 takes, something ridiculous. And because like the priest wasn't doing it right. So he says, listen, do you trust me? Do you love me? Boom. Slapped him. All right, let's roll.
Jesus.
And that's the take that's in the movie.
How can you not love William Friedkin for shit like that?
He's so good.
Awesome.
There's so much shit in this movie. Like even when the mom falls down in the room, like she said, don't pull me so hard. So he says, all right, for this one, we're going to pull her really hard. So they pull her, and that's the one that's in the movie. And I think she broke her tailbone with that one because they pulled her with the cable real hard. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. I don't know if you heard earlier. You might have been watching the movie, but anyway, one of the guys I invited to this stream was doing a reaction video on the new Exorcist film. And he started talking about how he wasn't a fan of, it's kind of a hot take. He's not a fan of Exorcist, but he's a really big fan of Exorcist 2. I've never heard anyone say that before, but so have you seen Exorcist 2?
I've only seen it through Red Letter Media when they did the review of it, but it looks hilarious. It looks like they call it that, the cannonball run of Exorcist movies, because at the end they're all racing to get to.
Okay, I gotta see this thing.
Yeah, because at the end they're all in separate places, and then they're all trying to get to Reagan's house. And like I think the drunk Richard Burton is like, quick, we got to get to the girl's house before they go there. And it's like sort of like Inception, where they have to like go through like the memories and like plug in and read each other's memories, sort of like a weird device. Yeah,
it's supposed to be super over the top. Yeah, I got to see this too. I definitely need to check it out.
Have you guys seen the other ones, 3 or 4?
3 is good.
3. After 3, they get into a lot of CGI, and I just hate the CGI in some of the later films. It's horrible.
William Friedkin was
5, 7, now the CGI is terrible.
He was saying, "Oh, I never watched that trash." There's like if there's a 15 car pile up, I can't do his voice like you can. I don't want to go look at that. I know what it looks like. Just like I don't want to look at these Exorcist sequel trash. And he never even saw.
Somebody got him to watch Exorcist 2 just for a little bit. Like he watched it for a few minutes and then said, "No, I'm not."
He was an admirer of that director too. Oh no, I'm thinking of French Connection too. He was an admirer of that director, but he didn't want anything to do with watching it.
Yeah, so
French Connection 2 is way different. It's more like a European. It's like a European espionage type movie. I kind of like French Connection too, but not like the first one.
I always forget there's a French Connection too. I haven't seen that.
There's kind of like another one too, right? 7 Ups. Is that sort of like another?
Yeah, kind of. Is he the same guy? Is Ray Scheider the same? Oh wow! Because I know some of the cops. The cops took part in that. The same ones that were that French Connection was based on. I know they were in the crew of that movie too.
You sent me that one, Tyler. I still haven't seen it.
Okay, that's some good car chases.
I know I started watching it. I just kind of got bored with it.
Yeah.
7 Ups. I think he plays the same character.
Yeah. Oh, I got a theory for you later on. It's there's no validity to it, but I have a good one for him later on.
Scheider?
Yeah. I'll say it when we get to that movie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess this would be a good time to let us know if you enjoyed the new Exorcist film, which is a sequel to this film.
Let's see. The best way to explain it is that it's made for no one. It's not over the top craziness that the modern audience is to expect. It's not like Conjuring. There's no over the top stuff.
Oh, really?
Yet it's not for the original fans because they don't understand the original film. There's a line where the mom comes back, 90-year-old mom, and she's like, "Oh, they never let me in the room. I guess it's because I wasn't part of the patriarchy." I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? You were depressed. You could not handle seeing your daughter that way. You didn't even want to go in that room after a while. Like, don't blame it on the priest that they gave their lives for your daughter. Don't do that." Like that. I wish they took that line out because it's so easily like you could cut that line out, but they left it in there. I'm like, that's like you completely misunderstand the original Exorcist. and that they haven't even seen it because there's a thing where they're like, oh, because in the original Exorcist, for those who don't know, there's a scene where they're like, I haven't told the mother this. I wanted to show you, Father Karras. So they go upstairs and they lift up the blankets. And they show the help me. So the mom has no idea that happened. But in the new Exorcist movie, she knows that happened. She somehow knows that help me was written on her mom's stomach or her daughter's stomach, Reagan. I'm like, she didn't even know that. Nobody told her. That was like kept secret between the housemaid and Father Karras. Nobody knew about the help me on the stomach. I was like, what the hell? Like, they really don't get it. But like, as like, if you're going to see like a horror movie for like whatever, it's Halloween season, I'm going to see a horror movie. It's fine. It's serviceable. Like you mentioned about religion, the thing I like about exorcism movies is at the end when they all get together, like it's about togetherness, it's about family. We got to, bring love into this. We can't give into weakness. It does have a little bit of that, which I do like, but like that's like such a small percentage. And then there's like some really like, Rick Dalton moments. Like, yep, I know that reference. They try to recreate the cookie jar scene because it's so natural when Linda Blair does it, when she steals the cookie from the cookie jar and the mom chases her and it's fun. It seems so real. In this one, it's so lame because the daughter's like, don't eat the sausage to the poor little piggy because she wants her father to be vegan or whatever. So he eats the sausage and then they run around the house and doing the same thing. Like, oh, this feels so cringe. It feels so cringe. Like, ugh. But yeah, I thought it was, it was okay. Like, I didn't hate it because there's been so many other worse Exorcist movies.
Yeah.
And like, I can't believe they paid $400 million for the IP just to do this movie. I was like, are you kidding me? You paid $400 million just to have a limp start to this reboot. I was like, holy hell, that's crazy. Not even $400 million to make it. It was just for the IP, like the name, Reagan, and the mom and the details. It's like, are you kidding me? You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
And then they paid
Blair in it.
So they own the rights now to it, so they're gonna probably make some more sequels to it.
Linda Blair shows up at the very end, which got me, but that's just because I have nostalgic feelings for the original one. It had nothing to do with the new movie. But like when I saw them together on screen, I was like, oh, the feels.
That's kind of like how it is with a lot of new movies. Like, I really can't stand them, but when they tug on my heartstrings and show like old characters I like come together, like, oh.
Like the new Dial of Destiny movie where like the whole movie's like but at the end when Marion comes in there, it's like, oh,
where does it hurt?
Where does it hurt? So good. That part was good. The chasing for sausage, not so good. But yeah, it's all right. It's like,
all right, I didn't have too much hope in it by watching the trailer to it. I was just like,
You see the trailer, you see the movie. Honestly, it wasn't that much different.
Yeah,
no twists or turns,
which is like 90% of the movies nowadays. You watch the trailer, you watch the movie.
I would recommend Pope's Exorcist, though. Go see Pope's Exorcist. That's
I want to see that. Have you seen? Is it good?
Which one?
It's perfectly cheesy. Pope's Exorcist.
Oh, I want to see that.
Cheesy.
Yeah.
It's called
Franco Nero plays the Pope, huh?
Yeah, that's what makes it like really cheesy too.
Yeah.
It's Russell Crowe.
Oh,
Russell Crowe plays this real life priest, but like at the end, it sort of becomes like Men in Black with the priesthood, which I kind of love.
Okay.
It's at the end, like they have a cross, and when they push it against the demon, it starts like making a sound. It sounded like the noisy cricket. For some reason, I was like, "What? This is amazing! I love this movie." Oh man, but yeah. Next one, right? French Connection.
Yeah. All right.
Next film from 1971, 2 years prior to The Exorcist, and I think the first film that he actually won a Best Director award, The French Connection.
Oh. I just want to two words that always comes up with him, and I think it originated from this movie, or two phrases: spontaneity and induced documentary. And we've been talking about that the whole stream. I think it started with this one, and it makes the movie so freaking awesome. Like you're saying, it feels like a documentary. It feels so real, not just because it visually looks real, but because of all of the research he's done, and he's actually working with the real cops that did this case. The biggest bust of uncut heroin, like what was it, $33 million worth of uncut heroin, the biggest case ever, I guess. I don't know if it still is. I'm sure it is. And they had actually not even to get into the cinematography techniques he used, but they had like the real cops working on this movie. They actually acted, and I thought they were actors before when I saw this. They're the real cops, and they had the real guy that took apart the Lincoln Continental or whatever it was. They had the real guy that did that, not his whole team, but him. He in the movie taking apart the car for the movie.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the interview with William Friedkin, and he talked about how, you know, again with the documentary style stuff.
Yeah.
He talked about how, you know, a regular movie you have the camera set up, and then you have everything in front of you. And he's like, I don't want everything in front of me, only just in front of me. I want to see the right side. I want to see the left side. I want you to see behind me. I want everything to be seen so it seems like you're in a real environment.
Yeah.
And, you know, I had talked about earlier how, you know, like one of my favorite, it's probably because I was a basketball fan when I was young. I thought I was going to be a basketball player. But my mom took
you're
me
tall
to
enough.
Dreams, a documentary when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite documentaries of all time. And it was such a good documentary. It seemed like a real movie to me. But the same thing when William Friedkin makes a movie so real, it almost seems like a documentary. It's just like it's crazy. But yeah, that's I would say that The French Connection is one of the most realist films that he's made. Like you really feel like you're watching real police officers. You just mentioned they are real police officers, right? Some of them.
Yeah.
But, the way it's filmed, and this is a new watch for me. I never watched it. I just barely watched the film. And I've heard so much about the chase scene, and it's almost like I was less impressed by actually what was happening with the cars as I was with how he filmed it. Yeah. It was like it was groundbreaking the way he filmed it in a first person view of the windshield. In a first-person camera view, really impressive filmmaking. I thought at the time, not see anything.
Yeah, all like real sets, like not sets, but like real environments with no permits and all this.
Yeah,
just filming one little piece at a time, so he can get away with it. But
I didn't know anything about all that stuff. But man, the camera in the film, how he set up cameras on tracks and like it's a masterpiece of filmmaking.
There's the one.
You can watch a really great movie and not thinking about the director sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the actors are so good and this and that. Like you think about William Friedkin in these movies.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, this is directed.
He's got a vision.
Yeah. He's a special individual.
Yeah.
You getting on? No, I'm not getting on Xbox. I told you I'm doing a podcast.
And I guess he had a guy who was a documentary, or he was a real filmmaker that worked with Castro in like the Cuban Revolution or something. But he had a falling out with Castro and came here. And William Friedkin wanted him for this movie to be the to film it, and he said just film it like you did back in Cuba or whatever. Like he didn't even give him any direction. He just film what's happening. So they had that one scene that was called like a three-legged surveillance where they're trying to follow that. What's the character's name? The bad guy, Charnier. When they were I think they were following Sal Boca, the connection. They had like the 3-point where there's three guys constantly trying to keep up with them in the middle of the city. Like he just had his cameraman just film what's happening, and it made it just seem like a documentary, like you said.
Fun fact: I was just looking up the cinematographer. He worked on one of my favorite movies too, and another New York City movie, Taking Up Pelham 1, 2, 3, the original.
Oh, I love that movie.
Makes sense. So he worked on the same movies. Wow, that's so cool. He really knows
New
York City, and because that movie even feels like a documentary.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that. Yeah.
That's my boy Joseph Sargent. Yeah. That's my man Joseph Sargent that directed PMM or PWM and I's favorite non-Jaws 1 movie, Jaws the Revenge.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did the cinematography on that one. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And in this film, it seems like Scheider kind of plays like a lesser role in this film.
Yeah.
Like he's not like Gene Hackman seems like he's the star in this one. He outshines him and has more of a role in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, he's great. I love Gene Hackman.
Oh heck yeah. I guess he wanted to get Jackie Gleason, who would have been perfect for this too.
Did he?
Yeah, but he wanted to get Peter Boyle. I think I mentioned earlier. They ended up with Gene Hackman, who worked out perfectly.
Oh, wait. So I forgot. You mentioning that made me remember something. For Sorcerer, he wanted.
Steve McQueen, huh?
Steve McQueen instead of Scheider. And Steve McQueen said he would do it, but then he didn't want to go to Colombia without his wife. So he told William Friedkin, if you put her in the movie, and of course, William Friedkin being William Friedkin, he's like, no, I'm not doing that. And then he's like, well, can she be like a co-producer, something with the name or whatever? And William Friedkin's, no, I'm not doing that.
Not doing
that. So Roy Scheider got the job for that.
I love Friedkin. He's so cool. He's the best.
Yeah,
he is, man.
And there was a little bit of a contrast between Hackman's character, Doyle and Russo. Doyle was like doesn't give a fuck. Gene Hackman, like he's pretty much a bad guy. It's not only Roy Scheider is the guy that kind of keeps him on track because he's such a good detective.
Yeah, good cop.
But if he wasn't for the detective, like he's a scumbag, like he's a womanizer and he's racist and he eats bad. He has a bad diet. He he has no regard for human life. Like he'll risk anything, kind of like William Peterson in the later movie. And what's his name's kind of more level-headed, Roy Scheider's character. But also William Friedkin always stresses that like the bad guy is more of a gentleman than Hackman. Like Hackman's kind of a scumbag, and the bad guy, Alain Charnier, he's like a classy gentleman with like a pretty wife, and he's a connoisseur of like food and wine and all this, and like just a classy guy other than being a drug dealer. And then the cop is like a scumbag. Like the good guy is a scumbag, and the bad guy is like a gentleman.
Mm-hmm. It's a good contrast. It's sort of like John McClane versus
and I don't know if there had been movies before that where I know modern movies there's like anti-heroes, but I don't know if before that, like the cops were pretty much straightforward, like good guy, like hero, role model guys, but not Gene Hackman. Like he'll pull over women on bicycles. Like he'll pull them over to like arrest them just so he can go like flirt with them to go have sex with them.
I remember hearing that To Live and Die in LA was a spiritual sequel to The French Connection.
It kind of feels like it, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call Old Dog. I'm gonna put him on speakerphone. This is a guy I met like 12, 13 years ago. I play Xbox with. He's 71 years old.
Nice.
And he still plays Xbox. New Yorker.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man?
You getting on? I am.
Getting on? What are you, drunk as fuck? I told you I'm doing a podcast tonight.
Oh, that's right. No, I already did that. All right, no problem.
You've been drinking, haven't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, well, take care, brother. If I get off early enough, I'll send you a text.
All right, man, no problem.
Later, Old Dog.
He's the best. All right. Shit, there's not too much left, and I don't think I've seen any of the other films. We're getting into the 60s now.
Yeah. Because the first one is that, what do you call it? The Sonny and Cher movie. And then,
oh, yeah.
what do you call it? The Boys in the
what? There's
Band.
a few more. We got The Boys in the Band, 1970. I think I've heard decent stuff about that.
I heard good things. I think it was even remade, right? It's based on stage play first, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that was a stage.
And then remade in 2020.
Oh, speaking of stage plays, he went on to do opera recently, huh?
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even then, he was a hard ass because they were telling him how to direct, and he's like, "No, this is how I'm going to do the opera." I was like, "He's still doing it." Oh, freaking the best.
Does anybody know what that was about besides Boys in a Band?
Let's see, The Boys in the Band.
That wasn't about like the Beatles or anything, was it?
No, it's about like it's like gay actors or people who live in like a building. What is it?
Was that the one with Robert Shaw in it?
No, Robert Shaw is the other one.
Oh, he's in the birthday party.
Yeah, the birthday party. No, Boys in the Band is like I think it's like all these like gay people who like live in like an apartment complex at this party or something. It's like all takes place in one thing or something.
Oh, okay.
Like one location. Yeah.
All right. The next film is The Night They Raided Minsky's, 1968.
Well,
Jason Robards.
Not seen that either. I don't know why. I've always been
Britt Eklund's in it. I gotta see it.
Huh?
Britt Eklund from The Man with the Golden Gun and The Wicker Man. I gotta see it if she's in it.
Go. That's your tie-in there. James Bond related.
Oh, Joseph Wiseman, who plays Dr. No, is in it.
God.
Elliot Gould's in it. I got to see this, whatever it is. And a naive young Amish woman runs away from her home in Pennsylvania to New York, where she hopes to act in a religious stage play. Ends up performing in burlesque theater.
That sounds horrible.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
It must be Britt Eklund. Oh, Birthday Party. Is that the one with Robert?
Yeah.
Yep, Robert.
Oh, wow. And Patrick McGee. Patrick McGee. Okay.
Apparently, he's a shark hunter in that film.
I was gonna say. Well, I was gonna say, what if Chief Brody is Russo from French Connection? Because remember, he was a cop from New York, and he moved to Amity, where he thought he would have an easier life.
Well, then remember he moved to Galveston as well.
Yeah. He moved to Galveston to fight the baseball serial killer. Yeah. Have you seen what's it called? The Night Games.
The Night Game. Yeah, that's a great one. Especially if you're an Astros fan.
Yeah.
Oh God. You liked that one, right? When you saw it?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love that. I'm glad you sent me that.
We'll have to send Brody some of our physical doubles.
Oh, heck yeah.
Copy the stuff.
Trust
me, we get a lot of it. I still don't have everything logged, so I buy movies over and over again.
Yeah, I do that crap.
It's getting too hard to keep track. And then, of course, the first film he directed about the black family, the ghetto family, Good Times. Oh, no, am I mixing that up with something? Something else? Yeah.
The one I know is that. Okay.
Good Times. Come on, baby.
I thought you were going to mention the one that, what is it, The People versus Donald Crumb, that documentary where he was at a prison and he saw the priest giving the inmates like.
That's a documentary. These are the feature movies.
Okay. Never mind.
Yeah,
sorry.
Now you can do it now. Yeah, documentary time.
Okay.
That's the one you talk about, the serial killer. I mean, the killer.
He was in prison, and I guess William Friedkin was in this prison for what I forgot what reason, but there was a priest in there. Like I don't know what, like they giving him their last rite or blessing or whatever. And William come up and said, "Hey, Father, I wanted to ask you, all the years you've been doing this, you ever think a guy they sent to death is actually innocent?"
No, that's not how it happened. Let me set it up for you.
Okay.
So I think he had just moved to LA and they were throwing like a party, and William Friekin's not like a socialite type of guy.
Yeah.
So he did go to the party, and then at the party, he's like standing around this living room, and all these people are talking, having a good time, drinking or whatever. And then there is a guy who works at the prison, the priest, like you said, and they're at that party. And he said, "Who are you?" And he says, "Oh, I work at the prison over here." And then he asked that question. He's like, "Is anybody you ever met over there?" Well, he tells him that he does the for death row. He is a priest or something for death row when they get sent away to die or whatever.
Yeah.
And he says, "Yeah, there's a guy. You remember what his name is?"
It was like Daniel Crumb or something.
Yeah, Crumb. Yeah. And he said, "Yeah, there's a guy that even
Crump. Yeah.
The prison, the warden even thinks is innocent. Not just me, the prison warden thinks he's innocent." And then William Friekin's like, light bulb goes off. He's like,
"Yeah, he makes a documentary and it saved his life."
Yeah, fucking saved his life before he made any feature films. Made a documentary, got this guy off of death row. And if you wonder why he has such a big head and such an ego, I mean, think about that. You pick up a camera, make a documentary, save a guy's
save someone's life.
Yeah.
Then come on. And then all of a sudden, you make a few films that are pretty good, and then French Connection comes up, and you win the best director. I mean,
The People versus Paul Crump. His name's Paul Crump.
I do want to watch that documentary. I need to check that one out.
Yeah. The thing I found interesting about that story is that he worked with David Wolper, and I know David Wolper because the famous Willy Wonka and the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the one with Willy Wonka. What's his name? Gene Wilder. That one.
Gene Wilder.
Yeah. Yep. That guy who did this documentary, who helped William Friedkin make it. I think he's like the producer or something. He's the producer of the Willy Wonka movie.
Okay. That's
Wilder.
cool.
Oh, okay.
And that's why that one looks like a documentary, because it's all made by people who made documentaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. But yeah, when I first found out about that documentary, that's initially what I started thinking. Okay, well, that's why he has the ego. He was young. He was super young when that happened.
Yeah. And I guess documentary was what made his movie so good, and he was inspired. I know later on he really loves Hitchcock later on in life, but earlier on there was a Greek director, that made a movie called Z, that was like that induced documentary style about like a Greek. He was like a populist, like a leader, and he was murdered, and then people would go write Z. I don't know the whole story on. They would put a Z symbol all over the place to represent that he's still alive or whatever. But there was a movie made about that, and it was documentary style, and that's how that's probably why French Connection ended up the way it was, because he was inspired by that movie. I forget the director's name. It was a Greek director.
Huh. Interesting.
And there was a German director. I'm sorry, I forget. I didn't write it down, that he's really inspired by, and he actually interviewed the guy. He was like 90 years old. And Buster Keaton. I know he was obsessed with Buster Keaton, and he says like he's the greatest filmmaker ever made. And it's hard to argue with that, because like this type of stuff he could do back in the 20s or whatever it was, and the car chases.
Costa Gavras is the one who made Z.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah.
And of course, he was inspired by the film Citizen Kane.
Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah.
That was the
one. That was the big one. Like he saw it as like his teens or something, or 20s, where he went to the theater and he saw it like 6 times, or how many times they showed it.
Okay, yeah. Before that, it was all documentaries, but that's what started the passion for wanting to be a filmmaker.
Am I the only one that hasn't seen Citizen Kane?
I think so.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it? Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it several times. But yeah, it's a good one. Like in modern day standards, it seems like, oh yeah, this is just like a biopic or like a biopic. But like back then, that's like groundbreaking. It was like all new stuff.
Yeah. Probably inspired a million films, I'm sure.
Totally. You watch that, you're like, oh geez, they use that as like a template for everything. And of course, Hitchcock, when he worked on the show, the Hitchcock Hour, one of the last episodes, he got to meet Hitchcock, and Hitchcock told him, like, usually directors wear ties. So when he won the Best Director award, he's like, "How do you like the tie, Hitch?" And meanwhile, Hitchcock has no idea.
Over his head.
Yeah, didn't even remember him at all. I remember that.
Didn't remember them.
Oh, Mikey Garcia says he hasn't seen Citizen Kane too. I don't feel so bad. 3 out of 4 people here.
I haven't seen Lawrence of Arabia either.
I haven't seen that one either.
Okay, I got Casablanca. I'm gonna watch that one.
I like that one, honestly.
Yeah,
it surprised me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys are great.
I'm waiting to get Citizen Kane on Laserdisc.
I'm sure it is on Laserdisc.
I bet that would be bomb on Laserdisc. Oh my god.
It would feel like the real thing. It'd feel like the real theater experience.
Totally.
This is my physical media collection behind me. I'm going to grab a movie off of my shelf and I'm going to give it to Ty-Lord for free.
Oh, thank you. It's going to be one of those Dollar Tree specials that you sent me a whole box of.
What will it be? By the way, have you filmed your pickups?
Yeah, I was uploading it right now, but my internet went out, so I got to re-upload it.
Is that Deep Blue Sea?
Yeah, actually a movie that I don't really care too much about.
Oh, I like it.
I love it. I love Deep Blue Sea.
Well, I
the Jurassic World before Jurassic World.
For whatever reason, I'm a huge shark fan like Ty-Lord, and I still have not watched the whole film. I only watched.
That's good. That's one of the top non-Jaws shark movies.
Yeah, because it's like basically a mashup of all of them.
Yeah, it is.
Where he takes off where he's like in the middle of the boat and he takes off the guy's head or something like that. I think.
Or he takes off the guy's arm.
Or takes off his arm. Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he takes off. They call it that dude from.
That
Dragon Tattoo.
That guy, he's like a Swedish actor. What's his? All of his kids are actors now. He's like Dutch or Swedish or
Skarsgård, right? Something Skarsgård.
Yeah, Skarsgård.
Yeah. Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, he's in everything.
Michael Rappaport, Samuel L. Jackson, Thomas Jane, LL Cool J.
Dude, I love that movie. I love.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Now part 2 of this sucks. I did not like part 2. I watched all of that.
I think the closest movie that comes to that is like Meg 2.
Oh, that was good. I love Meg 2.
Meg 2 specifically, not
Meg
1.
Yeah, Meg 1. I read the novel of Meg 1 and then I saw the movie and I'm like, oh man. But then I didn't ever read Meg 2, so I went into that just expecting nothing. And I go, man, this is like Godzilla meets the Three Stooges. I love this.
Absolutely.
Really? I haven't seen Meg 2 yet.
I think Meg 2 is like every 70s movie.
I think in Meg the CGI was way better.
Oh no, those were like real animatronic sharks in that.
Yeah.
In this?
Yeah, they're like when they're swimming in the alleyway and then when it's on there and when it bites his arm. I think there's only like a couple of CGI sharks in that one.
Yeah.
Not that many.
All right. Yeah. I'll see it. I'll watch it then.
Yeah. Because that's like, honestly, that's so much better than nowadays. Because there's like a lot of elements from that movie that they live for, like Jurassic World, for sure.
Yeah.
Like with the training of the raptors, they're trying to train the sharks in that one. Yeah. And then the surprise deaths. Yeah. I like that one. That's a good one. Highly recommend.
I don't know if we should do the what is the thing that we do, Ty-Lord, usually with the sad piano music?
Yeah, you're better at that than I am. I can't.
I don't know if we could do it. I don't know if we could make it funny as we normally do because
last time we did it for Albert Pune.
He's such a seriously good director.
Yeah.
I mean, Pune was great too, but I mean, in a much more funnier way, like a action or B film type of way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What we do in a lot of our films, we'll pull out the sad piano music and then we'll start doing a eulogy. I don't know if I'm up for it. I just don't know.
I will recommend for those viewers out there, highly recommend, because it's on YouTube for free. You don't have to get the Blu-ray or DVD of it, but William Friedkin does a commentary for the movie Vertigo, and that's excellent. It's like one of the best like lecture things because it's just him explaining like everything about Vertigo, which Ironically, he liked that at a younger age, but like he did a podcast like maybe 3 years ago where he said he didn't like Vertigo anymore. But I was like, you did like a commentary track. Yeah, he changed his mind at an old age. But yeah, like he was so great doing that commentary. So I recommend it. It's on YouTube's. I love it.
Didn't he have a new documentary, Tyler, that you watched recently?
Oh, I watched it on Tubi. It was pretty good. It just covered his career. It was good.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Damn it! Yeah, I haven't watched that.
Yeah, it's good. He even like had that newer documentary. They talked about it where he goes to Italy to interview a real exorcist.
The Devil and Father Aramov.
Yeah. I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Are those fairly new documentaries or they're old?
The new documentary.
Pretty,
new, yeah.
Oh.
The one about him came out in like 2020, and I think the one I'm looking at right now, The Devil and Father Merritt, that's 2017.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did finish his last film. I was watching your podcast, and you guys were wondering if he finished or not. He did. And they filmed it before the actor died, Lance, the guy from John Wick.
That guy, yeah, Lance. What's his name?
Lance Reddick.
Yeah, Reddick. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was one of his last movies. Yeah.
Oh wow! So they got William Friedkin and him before they passed.
I heard it's good. I heard that on Twitter. It's good. Like Friedkin just lets the actors talk because like that's all the movie is. It's just them in a courtroom for like 2 hours, and it's good.
Oh, speaking of courtroom, didn't William Friedkin do the remake or the second adaptation of 12 Angry Men, or was that a made-for-TV?
I think made-for-TV. I gotta look that up. Hang on.
Okay. Because that's on Tubi. I almost watched it.
Now I know William Friedkin did an episode of Tales from the Crypt, which I want to check out.
12 Angry Men, 1997. Yep.
Okay.
And then there was a reboot of the Twilight Zone series. He did an episode on there.
George C. Scott, William Peterson. Damn. James Gandolfini? Man. Jack Lemmon?
Yeah.
Dude.
Jack Lemmon. Yes.
Jack Lemmon. You gotta check that out. Holy moly. It's gotta be one of his last movies, 97. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I think, didn't he die in like 98? Like him and Walter Matthau died
yeah.
each other.
Oh, have you seen? I'm looking for a Walter Matthau movie. I can't find it anywhere. The Laughing Policeman with Bruce Dern and Lou Gossett Jr.
I've heard about that. I don't know if I've seen it. I wonder if it's like Kino Lorber or something. I've heard something about
I don't know. I can't find it anywhere. I can't find it. It's not on YouTube. I can't find it to stream anywhere. I can't find it. Maybe I can order it on eBay. I just can't find it. Like that's like one of the earliest memories. I remember my parents were watching that movie, and I go, "Man, this movie's good." I was a little kid. It was one of those gritty cop movies, kind of like French Connection or Taking a Flam. And Walter Matthau's in it, and they're trying to find a killer or something. And I remember it was on television, and Walter Matthau and Bruce Dern were a buddy cop team, and they were always swearing at each other. And I'm like, man, I was like a little kid, and my parents were trying to cover my ears because they were like swearing at each other, the two cops.
Yeah, because I love 70s Matthau.
Yeah.
Charlie Marek, Pelham 123, Bad News Bears.
A
New Leaf.
Yeah.
Those are all good.
Oh heck yeah.
But he was great. I like it because like he's like the same person, but he like brings a different vibe to every different role.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I got to track that one down. The Laughing Policeman.
Yeah, because there's some great movies out there that are just out of print.
Yeah.
Like there's one I really love, but it's out of print, and all I have is a digital copy because it's from the library. It was a movie called Sleuth with Michael Caine and Laurence Olivier. It's really good.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it only stars them. It's basically a stage play in a movie.
Oh, okay, I know about that.
Yeah, so Laurence Olivier is this crime writer, and he invites Michael Caine to his house, and it turns out Michael Caine is having an affair with Laurence Olivier's wife. And in order to have the divorce, he wants to play a game with Michael Caine. And he ends up killing Michael Caine. And at the end, the second part, because that's the first part. And then the second part is this investigator that comes in and starts saying like, hey, this guy went missing. He says, oh, I didn't kill him. It's fine. He went home crying. And then it turns out the twist is that the inspector is Michael Caine dressed up. And he said, you know what? You fucked with me so bad, I actually killed your wife.
Oh,
the murder weapon is hidden in this house, and now we're going to play a game.
Wow.
And you got to find the murder weapon. And at the end, spoiler alert, because it's out of print anyway, no one's going to be able to find it. But at the end, the writer, Laurence Olivier, gets upset with Michael Caine and shoots Michael Caine. And Michael Caine's laughing as he's dying. He says, remember, it was just a game. And then the police pull up because Michael Caine's like, I'm going to call the police, and they'll be here within 40 minutes. We got 40 minutes to find this murder weapon. So he ends up becoming a murderer anyway because he lied about having the murder weapon. I don't think he ever killed the wife, but he made him kill him.
Oh, that sounds badass. I wish I could find that.
Yeah, hopefully you could find it somewhere. It's called Sleuth.
What's it called? The game or what's it?
Which one? The game? The one with Michael Douglas?
No, the one you were talking about with Michael Caine and Laurence Olivier.
Sleuth.
Okay.
Called Sleuth. Yep.
There's one Michael Caine. Sure. Yeah, there was a Michael Caine movie. It's in a series of movies, and I have a couple of them, but the original one I can't find anywhere. It's called The Ipcris File. It's from the 60s. It's an espionage spy movie, but the same producers as James Bond, and John Barry does the soundtrack. And I freaking love that movie, but I don't think it's printed anywhere. I don't think it ever has been. I had to find some weird website to watch it 12 years, 15 years ago.
I think that's at my library or at one of them, because when I was doing my Jurassic World project, I did find that movie.
Yeah, because there was
I think another one. Yep.
There was one called Bullet to Beijing, and there's a few other. His character's name is Harry Palmer.
Oh, I like that. It's like Harry Potter. Mike Garcia says, I'm a little late on this, but he says the new Exorcist film is critical feminism garbage.
That sounds like it from what he said.
Yeah, I can't believe that line's in the movie. I was like, man, what a complete misunderstanding of the original movie.
Yeah, oh man, that's bad.
Well, boys, I have 9 days off in a row.
Congrats.
Don't have to work, don't have to stress, don't have to worry about phone calls or emergency situations for my job.
Excellent.
That's good.
I can turn my phone off
and just relax.
Yeah. Watch some more horror movies.
That
you've never seen.
Maintenance of these different facilities throughout the years. You can get a call anytime, and your whole night will be fucked. And right now, I don't really give a fuck. I can turn the phone off. I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although I did hear that my boss now actually called the guy that I replaced on vacation one time and had him come off of vacation and come back to the job.
Oh, geez.
So
I guess you can't turn your phone off, huh?
The key. What do they say? Off topic, but do they still make coming of age funny teen movies?
The only recent one I can think of is that Jennifer Lawrence one that just came out. No Hard Feelings. That's the last one, but before then, nothing.
So basically, you're talking about John Hughes type of movies.
Yeah, because that one is
where the missing space there now.
Yeah, they don't make comedies anymore. That's the thing. You have to hide them in movies. You have to hide them in action movies, or hide them in fantasy movies, like that Dungeons and Dragons. Hilarious. That's a comedy. But you have to watch it. They have to sell it as a fantasy.
There's no just comedy movies now. Huh?
I think the last great one I really loved was Game Night, and that's 5 years at this point, maybe 7.
I'm assuming John Hughes is dead right now, right?
Oh yeah, John Hughes died in 2008, and he stopped making movies in the early 90s. He started going downhill. One of his last ones he did was Baby's Day Out.
Oh really? That was him?
Okay. Yeah, he wrote that one.
What's your favorite John Hughes?
Wow, he had such a string of great movies, man.
Yeah. I was speaking of physical media. I have the original release of Ferris Bueller because he only recorded one commentary track.
Oh, excellent.
Ferris Bueller. So that's why I can't get rid of it. That's why I like my physical media. It's I have to keep that copy because
what is that on? DVD?
DVD, the first release, not the second one, because there's Bueller edition. It's not on that. It's not on.
I bet mine's not the original.
I wonder if it's on the Laserdisc.
Could be.
Yeah,
that's probably where I was recorded for, because all those early
the DVDs are a lot of times are ports of the Laserdisc.
Mm-hmm. But you said favorite John Hughes. I think mine. Oh man, I guess it's technically him, even though he didn't direct it. It's Home Alone.
That's a good. Oh, I
would say
love that
that
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like Home Alone 2 also, right? Isn't that one of your top ones?
Me
Yeah.
or him?
Or
Me
is it one?
because it's the first one. I love Home Alone 1
Yeah.
the most, just because
Okay.
as a filmmaker, if you're watching it as an audience
Dude.
member, it just goes over your head. But
Dude, it's like
whole
I think that's like a perfect movie. Like the more I watch that, the more I think it's like a perfect movie. Like I didn't realize it
first
when
10
I was a
minutes
kid.
sets everything up.
Yeah.
Like it sets up the tarantula, it sets up the Michael Jordan statue, it sets up the
Yeah,
BB
yeah.
gun, it sets up the glue gun, it sets up
Yeah.
the ticket going missing, it sets up that there's no
Yeah.
groceries in the house because they ate everything up.
Yeah.
It's like the VHS, the clocking of the alarm clock, the bedrooms,
Yeah.
the locations of every room in that house.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
that first 10 minutes, it's like filmmaking. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you have to think about that. You have to storyboard that kind of stuff. They even
Yeah.
introduced Old Man Marley in the beginning and explained that whole backstory.
Yeah, that was so good. Yeah.
Yeah, just watching that,
was
it's like shocking. It's good.
is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles him?
Yep, he wrote that one.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's my favorite John Hughes. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go through it because I'm trying to remember now. Breakfast Club, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, Pretty in Pink. Betty Sue's getting
Pretty in
married or
Pink, I'm a
something.
fan of that movie.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. What else?
Oh, that one's so good.
I'm just ripping off the top of my memory. Let's see, John Hughes, American filmmaker. Oh, 2009. I was 1 year off. The film. Oh yeah, he did a Class Reunion, Original Vacation. He was a writer. 16 Candles, wrote and directed. Breakfast Club, wrote and directed. Weird Science, wrote and directed. Ferris Bueller, wrote and directed.
Science. There you go.
Plain Trains, wrote and directed. She's Having a Baby. That's the one. Wrote and directed. Uncle Buck, wrote and directed. Curly Sue, wrote and directed.
Uncle Buck, nice.
Yeah, but some of the ones towards the end of his career, he wrote Just Visiting in 2001, Reach the Rock in 98, Home Alone 3, 97, Flubber, 97, 101 Dalmatians, Miracle on 34th Street, the remake, Baby's Day Out, Dennis the Menace, Home Alone 2, Beethoven. And those are all the 90s.
I'm going to say Breakfast Club for me.
Yeah. I think Home Alone's up there, but I'm going Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Has always been like one of my favorite 80s comedies.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
And
I love the soundtrack of Breakfast Club, too.
Yeah, Breakfast.
Oh, yeah. Do the soundtrack to Ferris Bueller. I think I'll pick that because he wrote and directed that one. That'll be my pick, Ferris Bueller.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the soundtrack to that one is awesome.
Amazing director, man. Just awesome. Good to see he wrote a lot of that shit, too.
Mm-hmm. He knew all.
Unlike that piece of shit, William Friedkin,
who only wrote a couple of his movies. They're all based on books. 3
of the greatest films of all time.
That William Friedkin.
I just like the way it's always like the Exorcist book or the French Connection book. He's all, I didn't like it. It was boring. I didn't stop reading it. But then I went and met the cops.
Exorcist.
Okay. Yeah, but then I went and met the cops and they were really cool. So I did the movie.
Because the fact about The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Props to William Blatty, man. He did a good job on part 3, I thought.
Yeah, for sure. But I was going to say the fun fact is that he got the script to The Exorcist after reading the book, and he's like, "Wait a minute, you deviated from the book too much. Go back to the book." So William Peter Blatty rewrote the script to be closer to the book because William Friedkin liked the book so much. Yeah. I love that collaboration between the two of them, and I feel like William Peter Blatty really did good with the third movie.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I don't believe. So
good. Somebody at work was asking me the other day my favorite 5 directors of all time, but I just could not even.
Yeah, it's too difficult.
I couldn't do it. It was too difficult.
I know for me, like definitely up there. John Carpenter, John McTiernan, Tony Scott. Those for sure on my list.
So, okay, so Halloween, is that your favorite horror film of all time, or is that your favorite movie of all time?
Favorite movie of all time.
Okay, favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? What's your second favorite John Carpenter movie of all time?
It's a tough one because I really love They Live, but I'll have to say the Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Christine, I really love. Holy shit, I love Christine. Early age, I caught that one. Oh my God, Escape from New York.
Oh
my
God, yeah.
That's probably
There's
my second favorite. And then I'm a guilty pleasure, Escape from LA. I know it's shit, but I love it because it was the first one I saw.
Like that.
So
yeah, I like it.
What else did he do? He did Memoirs of an Invisible Man. I like some of the gags in that one. And then he did The Village of the Damned, which is okay. Not the great, but it's okay. What else did he do? Oh my God, Prince of Darkness.
Oh yeah, Prince of Darkness with our boy, huh?
Prince of Darkness is really good. Like that idea. Like I wish someone could remake that like bigger because like it's so low budget, but I love the whole idea about it. Yeah. How like they're getting messages from the future and they found something from the past, and it's all in this like rinky-dink building, and you got all these scientists trying to figure out how it works. But it's like it's all low budget, so they're doing like everything they can, like all these big ideas in this movie. Attack on Precinct 13 as well. I like that one. Yeah, that's good. What else?
What about vampires?
I like vampires. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I do remember like it.
Yeah.
Is it James Woods? I like it.
Yeah, Ghost of Maz.
I've not seen it. Heard it's too bad.
Oh, okay. I haven't touched it. I think it's fun.
Oh, is that the one with Ice Cube?
Yeah, Ghost of Mars. What's one?
Okay, I remember that one.
The one I just remembered. Damn. Oh man, it was like right there at the tip of my tongue. It's in the 90s. Sam Neill. The books come alive. Sutter Kane. I remember everything else but the title.
The books.
Oh, what's the title? It's not Prince of Darkness because it's the other one. It's Mouth of Madness.
Oh yeah. Really good.
That's the one because I could remember everything else. I couldn't remember the title. Yeah, Mouth of Madness.
Yeah, well, they're like writing the book. He's like writing the book and stuff is happening from the book and like
yeah, because the main character is actually a character from the book, so it's like super meta. Yeah.
I really enjoyed that one.
And of course, there's big
Wes Craven or John Carpenter that made that one movie, Deadly. Is it like a robot killing people?
Deadly Friend?
Deadly Friend?
Yeah, with what's her face? Buffy, the actress.
That might be it. Yeah, that might be what I'm thinking of. Is that
Wes Craven? Yep.
John Carpenter?
1986. Deadly Friend. Wes Craven.
Oh,
okay.
Starring Christy Swanson. Yep.
I still haven't seen that one. I want to see that. I think there's a Blu-ray release of that now.
He also did that movie Starman, which I liked.
Oh, that's good. I forgot he did that. With Jeff Bridges, right?
Jeff Bridges.
Yep, Jeff Bridges.
Wasn't Karen Allen in that?
You guys have a favorite DVD commentary? Mine would be Requiem for a Dream. Requiem for a Dream is a really good movie. Family Man with Nicolas Cage, early 2000 DVD was great. To be honest with you, I'm not a big commentary guy. I remember the first time I did a commentary, which not too long ago. It's like you can't hear the movie, so it's like so I was getting used to that. Like, wait a second, I can't hear the movie now. But you're not.
I usually like watch it after I watch the movie.
Yeah,
you have to really.
Yeah,
but I got a couple favorites.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
The ones with Kurt Russell and John Carpenter. They did it twice. One for Escape from New York, and they did one for Big Trouble in Little China. Those are great. Those are excellent. Those are entertaining. I love the Evil Dead 2 commentary with Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, and Rob Tappert. That one's funny. And I'm trying to think of another commentary that was just like, oh my God, I love that. I'm trying to remember. I think it might have been, I think it is. It's the Texas Chainsaw one. Because it's like Toby Hooper talking with Gunnar Hansen and some of the people. And they talk about the making of the film and how like it was all putrid and how they were making all the things and like filming it on hot days. That was a good one as well.
Oh, no, I did see that one. one.
Yeah.
Mikey Garcia collects 4 commentaries. Okay, so that's why. I'm starting to put the pieces of the puzzle together because Mikey Garcia commented on my on this channel a while back saying, talk about the bonus features on the back of the Blu-rays and the DVDs, and now I know why, because he wanted to know about the commentaries. That makes sense.
I can't place my finger on. I watch a lot of commentaries, and usually every time I watch them, it makes me like the movie even more.
Oh, yeah.
Like just an example of the He-Man movie. Like I always like that movie as like a guilty pleasure, but when I watch the guy's commentary on it, like man, I really appreciate this a lot more now. the Masters of the Universe, but
Yeah, he doesn't even pick DVDs up if they don't have commentaries.
Yeah.
Mike Garcia, if you're interested in commentaries and if you collect 4K, Best Buy just released a steelbook of Evil Dead Rise that actually has a commentary because the original release of Evil Dead Rise that came out a couple months ago had nothing. This new one from Best Buy has a commentary track and a special feature.
What did you think about that film? I wasn't blown away by it.
I thought because it was one of those ones I wanted to go see in the theater, but like no one I knew wanted to go see it. So I was like, all right, I'll wait till it gets to streaming. I did stream it. When I do stream, I usually use Vudu. I'll admit that I use Vudu. I have to rent sometimes. So I rented or I got like the home video release VOD when it came out like 2 days later after the theatrical. I watched it and I thought I'm glad I didn't see that in the theater because I thought I was going to get vomit because there's like how it turns into like the spider monster and like, it's just bloody. I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Because to me, I love demon possession movies. I think that's my new kick. I love that because it's just like they say like the nasty shit and they try to like win over the person, like mommy's sick or whatever, whatever they're doing, or it's just like disturbing stuff where like they're banging their head or like they're trying to come in or they're eating glass. I love that shit. I don't know how they did that effect where she starts crying black. No idea how they did that. That was amazing.
Yeah, I like the main actress, her performance in the film. I do like, and I like the, I had problems with it, but I do like the underground bank vault and where they find the, and they're actually like spinning albums and stuff that
was cool.
Like that's really cool. Like I like that.
And that's the Bruce Campbell cameo too. I love that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Because they're doing the record and you find out that Ash was doing some time traveling because he says, don't read from the book.
Yeah, that's like the part to me of the film.
Yeah, but I did like that one. But yeah, the commentary tracks are really good when they are available. Sometimes they're kind of crap. I do know, even though we all just talked about William Friedkin, I think one of the DVD releases, I'm not sure which one, because I think the one on the internet edited down to all the stories. But I think there's a version out there where all William Friedkin does is explain what's going on in the movie without adding anything to it. And the same thing happens to the Total Recall DVD, where I think Arnold does a commentary, but he's not talking about any stories. He's just talking about what's happening in the movie.
Oh, he kind of did that on French Connection. He kind of just described it, but he gave some nice little insights that you wouldn't have gotten. But he did just pretty much just tell what was happening on the movie.
Yeah.
A freaking hilarious one. I don't know if you've ever heard the Terminator 3 commentary, but it's freaking hilarious with Arnold.
He talks about like her boobs.
He says, when I first heard that there was a female Terminator, I was all right. We get to see a naked female. We always see my naked body all the time. Now we get to see a naked female. I was so happy. And then, like when her boobs got big, he's like, we always had the discussion about what type of breasts do you like? Do you like little breasts or big breasts? And how awesome it would be to know a female that can have little breasts and big breasts.
In this part of the movie, I fucked her like my housekeeper.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I think Mikey Garcia is the only guy here.
Yep. Thank you, Mikey Garcia, for tuning in.
Brody, you should have brought some people with you, man.
I didn't know I was going to be on.
Because you're going to bring some people.
I didn't know I was going to be on. It was iffy because this day kept changing. And then when it finally came up, I was like, I got some plans that day. I'll try to get on. I'll try.
Yeah. Now, we get on every once in a while. I think the next thing me and Tyler is going to do is scary video games. We're going to go over some of our scary video games for the Halloween season here. And I have a ton of them. I can think of like, Jesus Christ, I must have hundreds of scary video games. And then Resident Evil, I'm sure, is Tyler's favorite discussion when it comes to scary horror video games.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how many Resident Evil games do you have?
I pretty much have every version of every one. I don't have
about 14, 15 of them.
Yeah, I got rid of all my Dreamcast stuff, so I don't have those anymore. But
so I don't know if you collect video games, but me and him are video game nuts.
Nah. Never really got into it. Well, when I was younger, I would play like Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row because I just like the driving and open world. But horror games, the one I really do like because I've seen Let's Plays from Red Letter Media but I really like that Friday the 13th game. If I could play a game, I'd want to play that one because that looks like it got all the things right from the movies into a video game. That one looks incredible.
Yeah, I tried to get into it, just never could get into it, but I don't know. Now the game is very similar
Texas
to
Chainsaw.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. It's
that looks
very
good too.
Similar.
Yeah.
I don't know. I tried to play that one time. It was too dark in the house. I couldn't find my way around. I'm trying to chase them with a chainsaw. I was, Leatherface. Obviously, I picked him, and I couldn't get out of the house the whole time. I was like, oh god, I'm just done.
There was an Evil Dead one like that too, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a couple of Evil Dead games. Evil Dead.
Oh yeah, I did play those too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll admit that I played those because I was a huge Evil Dead fan.
Oh yeah, they were like budget titles too. I remember I got both of them for They were $20 a piece.
Mm-hmm. Same here. I got my FYE used. Yep.
Yeah. It was Fistful of Boomstick and then Regeneration.
Mm-hmm.
What else did we do, Tyler? We've done all kinds of like top movies of all time, and
we used to do those things. We got to get back to doing that. The rate and review all of the movies in a series.
Yeah, we'll take all the movies in the series and then start from backwards and work our way front and talk about each film and give our reviews of it and summaries of it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
And see where everybody falls in place with their rankings and stuff, which is always different. No one has the same, except for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which 74 film is always on top.
Yeah.
I kind of like the remake. I'm just saying. I like the remake.
No, it's good.
I like it.
All of us
the remake's
like
good.
the remake. We just don't like the person with the take that's better than the original.
Oh yeah, no. The original is, again, we've been talking about it all night. The reason why the original is so good is because it's like a documentary. It's almost like it's filmed by the family that are at that dinner table.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the slow reveal of her crazy night because she keeps running away from all these different crazy men, and then it turns out they're all related.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the reveal at the
on YouTube. He's got probably 60 gabillion subscribers. He does his ranking and he puts the remake #1. He's like, this is far better than the 74 film. I'm like, just shut up.
They're on different planes. They're on different planes. What I like about the thing that really makes it different, that the original Leatherface is basically a character who's just having the worst day of his life because nothing like that happens to him. And then the new one is like fucking like God. Like this is like the super powerful like superhero villain of all time, Leatherface. They're two completely different things, and I don't like when those two worlds mix.
One of my favorite things about, and I've talked to Tyler about this, about Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it's like most films, like the killer or the criminal or the home invader, they're trying to get into your house. Like Leatherface is inside his home when these people are invading his home. Basically, they're coming into his house, so he's like he's freaking out. He's having an anxiety attack. He's like having a panic attack, and he's like
where they keep coming from. Like, there's so many of them.
He starts freaking out. So he's it's kind of like he's protecting his home.
It's like the reverse horror movie.
I love that twist to it. It's so good.
I always had the idea because they keep making legacy sequels to the original movie, and like when they do that, that's when they mix the cross the streams with Leatherface. But my idea is that they should do a legacy sequel to the remake, so you have that badass Leatherface come back.
Yeah,
it's okay, and it makes sense rather than having a legacy sequel where Leatherface is a badass, but in the original movie that you're referencing, he's just like, oh my god, don't mess with me, don't hurt me. Yeah. Well, that's my idea. Bring back Jessica Biel, legacy sequel.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
There's asses in all the movies. That's the great thing. That's like one shot that carries into all the movies.
Love her so much. Yeah, that's kind of like the what was the other remake that was really good? Well, obviously The Thing, but it's not the same as that. But
I kind of liked Friday the 13th. That's a
I like that.
You talking about the 2000? Yeah, like the 2009 one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the beginning of it. The first like 15 minutes of it, I love that. Really good.
But like the other thing we were talking about earlier, where it's just a mashup, Deep Blue Sea is a mashup of all the Jaws movies.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th is just a mashup of every single Friday the 13th.
Yeah, it is
in one movie.
Yeah.
It's like he has like all the best kills, all are in one movie.
Yeah.
It just the only thing is it just looks like the Texas Chainsaw from 2003 because it's the same.
Yeah, it looks like it's the same director, right? Yeah.
Which I met this year. Funny enough,
really?
I met that director this year accidentally. I went to
Oh,
take a picture
Van
with
Con or
yeah, Niagara Falls.
yeah.
What do you call it? I took a picture with Leatherface in costume. The remake.
Oh, with Andrew Brainarski or what?
Yeah, and like he did something where he was like this, where his face was covered. I'm like, I need a retake. So we went in there. The last minute, like, any retakes? So I'm like, I want a retake. And they were doing the double, so it was the director Marcus and then him, the Leatherface. So it's like, no, I just need him. I was like, so I shook the director's hand because he's like, oh, hi, how are you? Because he thought I was there for the photo op with him. I'm like, no, I just need Leatherface. So I had to redo it, but it was good. It turned out good.
Wow. That guy was at a convention I went to, Leatherface. That guy is freaking jacked.
Yeah.
Like he was big guy. Like I knew he was big, but like he was probably like 6'6", like muscled. I don't know if he's still like that. Yeah.
He is huge. Yeah. He's like this tall towards
me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool.
I just remember I didn't realize it was him, but in Batman Returns, he was Christopher Walken's son.
Oh,
you remember?
Chet.
Yeah, Chet. He's all, Dad,
go.
Go.
That's his only line in the movie.
And he says it like Christopher Walken would.
Yeah. Dad, go. Save yourself. Chet. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right, Ty Lord, what's your favorite Wes Craven movie?
Probably probably the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I like Hills Have Eyes.
No, I can't fault you for that, man. The original is so good.
Yeah, that one's creepy. The Hills Have Eyes, the original one.
Yeah.
Of course, The Last House on Your Left's another one.
Oh, right.
I need to see that. I own the DVD, but I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's like, you had the one film from England.
He remade that basically. It was basically what inspired it.
I got it on Laserdisc. What am I thinking? Tangerine something.
The Virgin Spring, Swedish film, 1960.
No. Jeez, what the fuck is the name of that film? It was a highly controversial.
Together?
What's that?
Together, 1971. Is that it?
No. It's got a famous name to it. I can't remember what it is. I want to say it came out before The Last House on Your Left. The Last House on the Left. Yeah, but in America, we had not seen anything like that, like a home invasion type of film like that.
Yeah.
Because I think Hills Have Eyes came out after The Last House on Your Left, if I remember correctly. Came out like a couple years after. And what's the guy?
77.
David Hess? He's like such a creep. He was like the main bad guy.
The guy with a weird head. What's his name? Berryman.
Oh, Berryman. Yeah.
David Hess is like a Jewish guy.
Are you talking about Hills Have? Are you talking about Last House? Yeah, David Hess. Oh, yeah.
Michael Berryman is from the other one.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about that bald, weird-looking guy. He has like a disease. That's why he looks like that. Yeah. He's great. He's great though in those films.
Yeah.
He was in that laser that I was talking about in my recent video. Can't remember the name of it right now, but he was like,
the one with the Carradine.
Yeah, with Carradine. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, The People Under the Stairs.
Yeah, that's another good one. Some people.
Yeah, you did all your Scream movies, huh?
Yeah.
Again, I didn't like the first film.
My favorite one's the second one, for sure.
Yeah, I know that.
I didn't mind the second one, but the first one.
Yeah, the first scene is what it really is, but the rest of the movie's kind of like,
Yeah.
Because they're all stuck in that house.
I don't know. Like, I'm weird about it because, like, I got a problem with Army of Darkness. Like I love Army of Darkness, but I kind of hate it too because it's like, you got away from the Evil Dead formula, man. Come on, you're doing something weird now and trying to be comical.
Well, each one of them is kind of different.
Yeah.
The first one's like a straight up horror. Second one's a horror comedy, and the third one's just comedy.
Yeah.
But the second one is basically just a remake of the first one, but it
with more comedy.
It adds black comedy to it.
Yeah.
But it's also still to be kind of terrifying. The witches in the basement. It's like the perfect. It does the perfect line between comedy and horror, where Army of Darkness kind of goes over the top with it for me.
That's like Three Stooges, yeah.
Yeah,
Costello.
Like,
I think it's like a fun fantasy action movie.
Again, I like it, but it's just
yeah.
It's on a different plane. It's on a different
thing.
Yeah, I want an Evil Dead 3. Just give me Evil Dead 3.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like Scream. It just makes fun of the whole. I mean, that's the whole brilliance of it. They say. I mean, it's just making fun of the whole horror genre.
Mm-hmm. But like, I
don't want you making fun of my horror genre. The horror genre is awesome. Stop making fun of it, Wes Reagan. You bitch.
Stop making fun of it.
You graduated from Princeton, Stanford.
You
smartest guy in the room.
How dare you, sir?
Yeah, you don't make fun of that shit. And plus, I hate Dewey, or that fucking guy that in the fucking town. I can't stand him. I hate every film that he's in, and the whole screen series. I want him to die. That's one of the worst.
The sixth one.
I used to have a buddy named Russell in Florida. He hated George Costanza so much in Seinfeld. That's how I feel about Dewey. I can't stand him.
One of the most beloved characters of the series.
He's so annoying.
Oh my gosh,
such a joke.
That's one of my favorite parts of the part two, where they're talking about the murder case and they're like, "Hang on, let's look at the parody that's on the TV." They watch the parody and like, "Okay, we'll get back to talking about the movie." I love how it just stops to do that. It's so great.
Yeah, it's clever as fuck. There's definitely some cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody see the new Scream film?
Absolutely, right here. That's the poster right there, and I got the little Scream bucket right there.
So I assume you enjoyed it.
Yes, but that's one of those ones where it's like, because I remember someone said, "Oh, you liked it? I haven't seen any of them. I'm going to go see it this weekend." I'm like, how the hell are you going to understand it? How the hell are you going to hop in? Because like number 6 is like reference heaven. It references like the entire series. There's so many Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's all fun. But it's like, if you don't understand that, I don't know if you're going to like it.
Yeah, I'd have to watch all of them again before I watch that.
Yeah, me and my daughter, like we marathoned all 5 of them. I think there's 5 of them.
5, and the new one is the 6th one.
Yeah, so we marathoned all 5 of them. I haven't seen the 6th one yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked it, of course.
I think I enjoyed 2, 3, 4, and 5 more than 1.
Yeah, I agree. Highly agree. 1 is like it's like you need 1 to exist, so like you could actually build from that. Because 2, I love because that's when Wes Craven's like running on all cylinders. I like the 3rd one when it gets meta, when they go on the fake movie set, and there's some cool scenes where like the whole room of ghost faces, and then there's one real one. And then I like the whole element of like the mother and like the doubles. That's cool. The 4th one I actually like too, because I like the killer's motivation. She wants followers, not again fans.
Yeah.
And that freaking what's her name? Sydney is like, what the hell are you doing? Although the 5th one rebooted the series and I did enjoy it. I kind of think 1's above the 5th, but the 5th one.
Yeah, I'll be probably.
I like Richie. Yeah.
That's the one, Tyler, I gave to that Goodwill, the autistic guy that works at Goodwill. Remember that set, the Scream 5 box?
Oh,
set? Yeah. And he never thanked me.
Oh, jeez.
Never
thanked you.
He watched all of them, though. He told me the other day, like a year later, he's like, I finally watched all of them.
That's good.
Oh, I already filmed that, unboxing that, but thanks for the Alien pack.
Ooh.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, maybe the DVD. Yeah, that's right. The Alien DVD pack. I got the Blu-ray quadrilogy So I was
okay.
willing to give that one up. So it's like, need a
I heard they're working on the
downside.
4K. I want to get that.
Yeah, see, I haven't stepped up to the 4K realm yet. I still got an Xbox One. I don't have a 4K player. I don't have a 4K TV. I don't have, so.
Oh man,
Although I do have
Xbox
4K and Jaws sitting up there on top of the shelf up there.
This Xbox is trash. I put this in there today, and it wouldn't play it. It says this is that we can't read this disc, and then I put it in the PS3, and it's fine.
Isn't that funny? Yeah. I was telling him I had bought some movie called it's a really sick film, rape revenge flick, where a Mexican gang rapes these people, but it wouldn't work in my Xbox One. It's a brand new movie, but it worked in my PS2.
Oh, jeez.
So I sent it back, and then realized when they sent me another copy that worked in my PS2, I was like, "Oh shit!" I forgot, Tyler, to send the other one back, so now they're charging me for both of them. So I'm thinking about sending it to you if it's not too offensive.
Oh, thanks so much.
You're not mad at me for sending it to you because it's a highly fucked up film. Like people killing people and nutting on them when they kill them.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Man,
funny.
that one was terrible. You sent me. It was a pretty good movie. Was it called Deaden?
Oh yeah.
That was terrible.
Were they like?
I mean, it was a pretty good movie. Though, like under the radar. No one's ever heard of that.
No one would ever find that film except for me on the back of a DVD full of 13 other films.
Yeah, dollar store, huh?
But I tell you what, I mean, those actors were like bad, like they were like real baddies that you would expect to see in like big films. Some of them, or like they were like scary individuals. I thought.
Yeah. Oh, the other good one was Trunk.
Yeah, Trunk was really good. I enjoyed that. Yeah, Dead, and they're like raping that. Like they have the
God,
tied up, duct tape together, like duct taped his hands together, and they're like raping his wife. And if that's not enough, they decide, she's pregnant, so they cut her stomach open and pull her fetus out. And they're showing the fetus to the guy. You shouldn't have.
Because your baby's ugly like you. Ugh.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
That's not my tempo.
But then he came back and effed them all up. That was like that was so satisfying. All the revenge he got.
Oh yeah, he goes to man, if please Vinegar Syndrome, someone get a hold of this film and put it on Blu-ray. I mean, if I had this on Laserdisc, I would die right now. He goes to this pawn shop to get revenge on these people, and his buddy works at the pawn shop. He's like, I need guns. Of course, the pawn shop has all the guns in the world, right, to give to him. And the guy's like, man, I got a bunch of coke. And then he's like, got probably as much coke as Tony Montana from Scarface. And they're like, literally, they're not sniffing lines. They're like dumping their noses in fucking big ass hills of cocaine, snorting it up. They're like, we got the guns. Let's go after these guys. It's like, man, it's hilarious. It's really funny. You enjoyed both of those, Tyler. Don't lie.
Yeah.
Or all three of those. Deaden, Trunk, and what was the other one? Can't remember now. What we got? I watched DVDs on PS3 and commentaries at ×2 speed. Well, he's a serious commentary guy then.
Oh, right. I like...
Or you're not serious, Mike. You got to speed up the commentary. I'm taking your commentary card away. You need to slow that shit down like DJ Screw style.
Mike Garcia, if you like commentaries, you should check out the Simpsons commentaries. All those are excellent.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I think they do a commentary in every episode and hearing about all the jokes and
how
they did it. It's amazing. Yeah.
Was the man, what's this guy's name that did The Simpsons? Is he the one doing the commentary?
It's usually the animators and writers. Matt Groening sometimes comes on because he's just like a creator. He's not the guy. Yeah, it's mostly the writers and whoever was show running at the time, like Mike Grease or Al Jean.
Oh, he said if it's good, he'll slow it down.
Yes, The Simpsons, dude, they're so entertaining. There's some with guest stars too, like Conan O'Brien. He talks about it.
Yeah. Didn't he write a lot of it?
He wrote like at least 5, maybe 4 or 5 classic episodes. Like he wrote on some of them, just add some jokes here, but he wrote like full 4 or 5 episodes, including
Conan O'Brien's hilarious.
I love Conan O'Brien.
Oh man, I used to watch when I was a kid. I would watch his show like every night. It was just I would like have my guts would be split, and like all of his little skits he did with Andy.
My favorite guy was David Letterman. I grew up on David Letterman, but after David Letterman, Conan was a really good transition from Letterman for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I miss Letterman with the wearing the suits with the Adidas shoes and the
Oh
man, he's just classic. And
they don't have that.
The Stupid Pet Tricks was one of my favorite.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Stupid Human Tricks later on.
I like Conan O'Brien because it was so parody. Like it was almost like a parody of David Letterman. Like it was so freaking funny. And he would have like the actual ads, but they weren't actual real ads. They were just made up to be stupid.
Yeah. That reminds me, like David Letterman, the top 10 list where he throws the cards and breaks the window. Like if you watch my DVD or my collection videos in the car.
Okay, that's where you got that from.
Video, constantly throwing paper and breaking the windows of the cars. That's all David Letterman right there. That's all I'm trying to do is David Letterman. I used to love watching that shit. You already broke your window. Why are you breaking it again? Your right window.
I'm gonna have to sign off. It's almost midnight here. 11:40.
Yeah, we're gonna get off, man.
I'm hungry.
Man, we went through all the William Friedkin movies, even though we haven't seen all of them. One of the greatest directors of all time. I am the PMM, the Physical Media Mac. We have Ty Lord Stevenson joining me once again. My buddy, my physical media partner over there. And then we have our new buddy here, Frank. Go ahead and tell him your channel name again. So Mikey Garcia can subscribe to you. I tell you what, Mikey Garcia loves you already because of the commentary information.
Yes. I got 2 YouTube channels. So if you want to see me talk on camera like this, subscribe to I Want My TV Now, all one word. And then if you want to watch my mashups that I've been making for years, that's where I usually put them. Chief Brody Rules. But yeah, if you want to see me talk like this about movies that I love, talk about my top 20, I Want My TV Now. That's where I talk about movies, and I'm planning to do some commentaries. Later this month, I'm doing a commentary track on the Sleepy Hollow cartoon from Disney. That'll be like one of my first commentaries I'm wanting to do. I kind of did one with Jurassic Park a few months ago for the 30th anniversary. But yeah, I slowly want to get to doing commentaries, or at least fan commentaries.
Cool, man.
Check out some of his edits. Like that's how I found out about him. I used to watch his he would mash up a bunch of movies together and edit it into like a different movie. Like he would make Jurassic World set in the 70s, and he'd get all these 70 movies and put them together like with Michael Caine and make like modern movies, but like they're set in a different. Or he just does these awesome mashups. And that was something I used to do when I first got my computer. I used to do stuff like that, but now like I can't render anything anymore. But man, he's like perfected it.
Nice, I like it.
Yeah. I'll give a couple examples. So I did the 1970s Jurassic World, so it's like the 2015 movie as if it were made in the 70s.
Yeah.
And like I actually use actors of the era, so like Charlton Heston, Michael Caine, Richard Pryor, Raquel Welch, so they're all in that one.
Yeah.
Similar to that one, I did Gone Girl in the 90s, so it's Julia Roberts and Harrison Ford in Gone Girl.
Yeah.
And then my more recent ones I did a DC Universe with Batman as Bruce Willis as Batman, John Cusack as Superman, and I think those are the main 2 because I haven't really done what's her name, Catherine Zeta-Jones. She's only in the newer version, and then the most recent one is a project I had an idea like 10, 13 years ago and wasn't able to do it then, but I waited 10, 13 years for more material. Damn. And it's Cherry Bomb starring Kristen Stewart, where she plays an adult film actress who becomes like famous. So I use like all these different movies and commercials just to make my idea a reality. And that took
Cool,
like
man.
10, 13 years to make.
That's
But yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
I love doing it.
Well, all right,
Yeah.
man. We appreciate you coming on the stream.
Yeah, thanks so much, buddy.
hopefully we
Yeah.
do some stuff in the future, and
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
man.
welcome.
Awesome shit.
Yep. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool, brother.
I'm gonna bounce out too. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
We gotta stay here. We gotta talk bad about him when he leaves.
Okay.
No, we're gonna do some piano music real quick, Tyler.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, later,
Till
brother.
later, buddy.
All right, Tyler. Oh, now it looks cool. Now, see, I like how it looks now. The Exorcist is in the left corner.
Yeah,
French Connection in the bottom corner, and the guy. It looks awesome.
yeah.
Now, do you have to run?
I'm kind of hungry. What do you got planned?
No, I was just gonna see if we can do a quick piano, but we don't have to do it on this stream.
Okay, you can do it. I don't. I'm not good at those.
I don't know if
You
I can
can-
do it with him though. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm really chancing it here.
Yeah.
No, we can skip it. We won't do it this
Okay.
time. We'll do it for
Maybe you
more
can
horny directors. He's too serious.
Yeah,
of a director.
We'll save it for David Worth. Bless his soul. No.
Yeah, man. Definitely. All right, brother. This is a good time.
All
Man.
right.
3 hours and 40 minutes in.
Wow, it flew by. That was fun.
And hey, if your boy Chief Brody got anything from this stream, Mikey Garcia sub to him. So you got one sub
Yeah.
from the PWM.
Excellent. Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
That's our boy Mikey Garcia is always here for us.
Yeah, Mikey's, man, he missed like a bunch of streams, but he came back with a vengeance tonight. He's the only one holding this one up, man. So appreciate it.
Mhm.
Love you, Mikey Garcia. All right, Tyler, when do you want to do the scary movie video game shit?
Yeah, we can do that. I don't know when you want to do that.
Just text me whatever day you want to do it. We can do it.
Okay, I'm thinking next week might be good, but I might take the kids to the Air Museum next Saturday. So if not next Saturday, the Saturday after that.
All right, sounds good, brother. Hit me up.
Okay. All right.
All right, man. Later, man.
All right.
Appreciate
Thanks, my man.
All right, thanks.
Later, buddy.
Pizza Hut. Mikey Garcia. Pizza Hut, baby. Pizza Hut 2 coming out. Hey, I forgot to tell you guys. Tight White's coming out with a video probably this week. Mikey Garcia, Tight White is coming out with a video this week, my brother. I know it's been a long time. Done picked up a hella lot of video games, and it's time, man. We've taken way too much time for my brother from the same mother to drop a video. And yeah, so Tight White is dropping a video this week. So check that shit out, man. I like this new setup right here, man. This looks badass. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace out. Peace out! Shout out to Mikey Garcia, Mikey G, Chief Brody, and my boy Tylord. Later.